Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people in English Jesus shy. So do or die. Do you not get December 25th? Christmas is Satan's thing. It's all about the Most High. It's all about the how it shines. It was kind of odd on the Passover. Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about the how it shines. It's all about the Most High. It's all about the how it shines. Hebrew Israelites. Kwam Yasha. It's all about the Most High. It's all about the how it shines. It's all about the Most High.
Shalom, brothers and sisters.
Shalom.
How's everybody feeling?
Wow.
Wow. Thank you for joining us here. We are live in Houston, Texas, 8524 South Braeswood, Houston, Texas, 77071. All right. Our class days are Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Monday and Wednesdays from 7 to 10. Fridays from 6 to 9. And Sabbath morning classes are held on Saturdays at 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. If you're in the Houston metropolitan area, please feel free to drop on in, all right? We also have schools in San Antonio. San Antonio's been there for a good long time. The address out there is 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas, 78217, all right? We also have classes in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Priest Mashaba's out there. You can also join 501 Copper Avenue Northwest, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87102. All right. Classes in Austin, Texas are to be announced. All right. But as far as the rest, we have kids class every Sunday from 12 to 1 p.m. All right. You may, however, watch our pre-recorded classes on our ISBHPK Kids channel on YouTube. All right. You can watch our classes live on YouTube. ISBHPK has live classes. ISBHPK, the cable show, we're going to get that back up running. It's going to be every Saturday, 8:30 p.m. on Comcast, local channel 17. Or you can stream it live on hmstv.org. All right. And we are on Blog Talk Radio at blogtalkradio.com/Mashaba, MASHAHBA, and his classes are held every Monday through Friday at 9:30 a.m. All right. If you want to get a hold of some Israel wear, if you want your shirts fringed, you like a nice design, the garments that you see us brothers up here wearing, you can do so. You can contact Israel Wear and place your orders there. It's on Facebook under at Israel Wear. Okay. And if you have any questions pertaining to class, whether it be this topic or whether it be any other topics, or any questions pertaining to your life and how to get right with the Most High, right? You can do so. You can text during class hours. You can text Priest Kazakia at 281-707-2737, or you can text my brother Priest Quatzazab at 303-557-8979. All right. During class hours, text only, but after class, go ahead and blow up the phone. All right. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can reach us and contact us via email. All right, you can send your questions through the email, and that's at isbhpk@org. All right. If you have any monetary donations that you want to give, that you would like to bless us with, because you know the scriptures, the information will be on the screen. All right. And if you have any cars, books, pens, paper, pencils, brothers have been donating apocryphas and Bible dictionaries and Bibles, and that's really being put to good use, and we want to save the water for that. And please keep it coming. Notebooks, pens, papers, pencils, erasers, highlighters, old computers, desks, chairs. It's all being put to good use and put towards the embodiment in bringing in people for the school. All right. So what we're gonna do for the first hour, we're gonna open it up with questions. I know you guys had a lot of questions last week because we just jumped straight into the topic and we held off on the questions. So feel free, bring those questions in. All right, and that's how we're gonna open it up right now. If you're already live, go ahead, share, subscribe, like, all that beautiful jazz. All right. Con? So far as in here though, any questions? Bob? Look like you got one simmering, Mr. John.
In the book of Philemon,
What's the question?
what did one Simon's do for Paul to like have to vouch for him?
Couldn't hear you.
What did one Simon's do for Paul to like vouch for him to Philemon?
Where you at?
Philemon?
What verse?
It's just 25 verses. Pretty much verse 8. 25.
So, ask your question one more time.
In the book of Philemon,
Right?
Juan Simon's, Paul wrote a letter to Philemon saying, I guess to forgive that brother or something, and he was vouching for him, saying whatever it was, put it on me. But do you know what it was that Juan Simon's did, or?
You have to read it. Let's. You saying start at verse 8? That's where the question is coming from?
We start with verse 1.
Yeah, you might as well start at verse 1. Where your question is coming from 8?
Yeah.
We'll start at verse 1.
Philemon, chapter 1, verse 1. Paul, a prisoner of Yahushua, and Timothy, our brother, unto Philemon, our dearly beloved and fellow laborer, and to our beloved Apphia and Archippus, our fellow soldier, and to the church in thy house. Grace to you and peace from the Most High, our Father, and Yahushua.
Go ahead.
I thank the Most High, making mention of thee always in my prayers, hearing of thy love and faith, which thou hast toward the Lord Yahushua and toward all saints, that the communication of thy faith may become effectual by the acknowledging of every good thing which is in you in Yahushua. For we have great
So we see what's going on here, right? Paul is writing this letter, right? Paul is writing a letter to Philemon, right? Paul, a prisoner of Yahushua, and Timothy, our brother, unto Philemon, our dearly beloved and fellow laborer. Right, go ahead. What verse you at?
verse 7.
Go ahead.
For we have great joy and consolation in thy love, because the vows of the saints are refreshed by thee, brother. Wherefore, though I might be much bold in Yahushua to enjoin thee that which is convenient, yet for the love's sake I rather beseech thee, being such as one as Paul the aged, and now also a prisoner of Yahushua. I beseech thee for my son, one Simon's, whom I have begotten in my bonds,
Go ahead.
which in times past
So your question is on Osimus? Okay. So, verse 10?
Verse 10.
I beseech thee for my son, Osiris. Do you understand what that means?
Beg, beseech.
No, that he was his son.
Oh, that was the son? Oh.
No. Read 10 again.
I beseech thee for my son, Onesimus.
Well, he just called him his son. Do you know what that meant? Okay, that means that what he was saying earlier, that Paul the age, the prisoner, he brought forth these men, right? He taught them, right? He woke them up, okay? So, he was their spiritual father. Go ahead.
And
Whom I have begotten in my bonds. How have he begotten him? In the spirit, right? In the spirit of the Most High, he begotten him, right? He woke him up. He gave him the truth. In his bonds. Go ahead.
which in times past was thee unprofitable,
Uh-huh.
but now profitable to thee and to me.
Right. So, what is your question?
I read it wrong. I didn't understand what I was reading.
Okay. Yeah. So, in time past was to thee unprofitable, but now profitable to thee and me. You know, once again, you know, when you were in the world, you weren't profitable, right? But now you got the knowledge, you got the truth. You're profitable now. You're doing the works. See that?
I understand.
Oh.
I didn't read it right, so I didn't get the right understanding, but now
You got it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, when you go to Colossians 4:9. Uh, 4 and 7.
Colossians chapter 4, verse 7. All my state shall Tychicus declare unto you, who is a beloved brother and a faithful minister and fellow servant in the Lord.
Right. You know, these are those scriptures that show that we were working together in unity. Okay? A lot of people don't understand that you know, you have people that think, oh, you don't need to unify. You don't need to be a brotherhood. So these are those scriptures that showing that no, there was a brotherhood, there was a body. Obviously, the body was in Corinth or Thessalonica or Ephesia or Rome. You had a body of brothers that were together, and a body of people that were together, united in that spirit. So go ahead.
Whom I have sent unto you for the same purpose,
Right.
that he might know your estate.
Right. So I'm gonna send you this brother Tychicus. So he's gonna go get a report of what's going on with y'all. So he know what's going on over there. Go ahead.
And comfort your hearts.
Right. And also he's gonna go over there, find out what's going on, and he's also gonna drop scriptures on you. He was gonna edify you. He was gonna. It's like what we do when other camps or you see Banabata come down here. He wants to know the state of what's going on over here, right? Or when we send another brother out and he's teaching somewhere else, you know, a brother will go over there and say, okay, so what's the state of the brothers? What's happening with them, right? Then he'll drop scriptures on them to give them comfort of the word. Go ahead.
With Onesimus, a faithful and beloved brother.
Right. So Onesimus, this was a brother that was rolling with them. Go ahead.
Who is one of you.
Uh-huh.
They shall make known unto you all things which are done here.
Right. So what you see also here is an organization of these men, right? Of this body, of these brothers, you know, giving them orders, sitting them out, having them do certain duties. This wasn't far-fetched. It wasn't one man's wet dream. This is how things were done in the body, in the spirit. So just to bring out Osiris once again, he was a faithful brother who is one of you, right? And he was doing those works. He was going around and building and strengthening and whatever fellowship or whatever work.
Oh, they want to know what do we think about the lunar Sabbath?
What about it?
Okay. What are your thoughts on the lunar Sabbath? That's it.
Thoughts on the lunar Sabbath is all of our Sabbaths go to the Apocrypha. And 7. Ecclesiastes 43 and 7. Ecclesiastes 43 and 7 in the Apocrypha.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 43, verse 7.
Yeah, wait till they get it. And then we're going to jump over to, Oh.
Page 96.
There, he's walking in right now. Ecclesiastes 43 and 7. And then we're going to go over to Genesis. You're going to read 6.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 43, verse 6. He made the moon also to serve her season for a declaration of time.
Right, so he made the moon to serve for what?
As a declaration of time.
Right. So here's your answer. He made the moon to serve as a declaration of times. Go ahead.
And a sign of the world.
And a what?
And a sign of the world.
Go ahead.
From the moon is the sign of feast.
For the moon is what?
Is a sign of feast.
So the moon is the sign of feast. It's for us how we calculate when our feasts come up. Go ahead.
A light that decreaseth in her perfection.
Mm-hmm.
The month is called after her name.
Right.
Increasing wonderfully in her changing. Being an instrument of the armies above.
Right. So the moon was set up for feasts. Okay? So that's how we calculated when the feast days would be. When the high holy days would be. Let me see here. Y'all got that, right?
Right.
That's a no-brainer on that one. Go to Genesis. Which one in Genesis? No, which one in Genesis am I going to? Whoa. Read the question again. Y'all sitting up here. You're sitting up here. What you doing? You're oblivious? No, not you.
What's your thoughts on the lunar Sabbath?
The thoughts on the lunar Sabbath, right? Go to Genesis 1 and Genesis 1. 14.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 14.
Genesis 1 and 14. Go ahead.
And the Most High said, let there be lights
Right.
in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night.
Right. Which was the sun and the moon, the stars, all these things. Right? When the stars come out, you can see that it's nighttime. Right? When the sun comes up, you see that it's what? Daytime. When the moon comes out, you know it's night. Go ahead.
And let them be for signs.
Let them be for what?
Signs.
Go ahead.
And for seasons.
And for what?
Seasons.
So if we wanted to know what season we're in, right, the calculation was going to be about the moon. Go ahead.
And for days
Uh-huh.
and years.
Right, and for days and years. So we did, according to the Bible, according to what we read in the scriptures, we did everything off the lunar calendar. Okay? We know there's some madness going out there with some book called the Book of Enoch or Jasher, whatever the hell it is. They're saying that it's not on lunar when the Bible just tells us that our moons and feasts were off the lunar calendar. That's why it says, go from there, go to, let's go to the New Testament now. And it is Colossians 2, verse 16.
Colossians chapter 2, verse 16.
Colossians 2 and 16. Wait till everybody get it. Colossians 2 and 16. Let me know when y'all got it. Y'all got it? Okay, go ahead.
Let no man therefore judge you in meat, or in drink,
Go ahead.
or in respect of an holy day,
Right.
or of the new moon.
Of the what?
Of the new moon.
Why? Because we, on our Sabbath days, they were contingent. On our holidays, our high holy days, they were contingent on the moons. So that's why he's saying that. Go ahead.
Or of the Sabbath days.
Or of the Sabbath days. You see that? Why? Because all this was contingent on the moon. So we dealt with the lunar calendar. Go to 1 Ezra 5, verse 52. Okay. Jesus. Go ahead and read that. 5:52.
1 Ezra chapter 5, verse 52. And after that, the continual oblations and the sacrifice of the Sabbath,
Right.
and of the new moon,
Go ahead.
and of all holy feasts.
Mm-hmm. So, there you go. So our new moons and our feasts, our holy days, our Sabbaths were on dealing with the new lunar calendar. It was dealing with the moon. Because the moon was to determine what signs and what season we're in. Okay? So y'all got that, right? Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. What else we got?
Are we permitted to do more than one fast at a given time? Any advice would be great. Are we permitted to do more than one fast at any given time?
How are we going to answer this? Scripture. What scripture? How are we going to answer this one? What was that last one I just called in Ezra? What was it?
First Ezra chapter 5 and 52. 5:52.
Which one?
I mean, you could when you fast, you go to Daniel 10 and 3. It shows that that he fasted for more than one thing. He fasted from food, from water. Go to Daniel 10 and 3.
So I'm mistaken. What was the question again?
The question is, can you fast for more than one thing at a time?
Okay.
Can you fast? Are we permitted? Let me say it the way it was stated. Are we permitted to do more than one fast at a given time? Any advice would be great. So you can definitely fast for more than one thing at a time. There's nothing there. I mean, when you go to Daniel 10 and 3.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 3.
Because a lot of people ask the question, well, can you fast from water only? Can you fast from food only? Can you fast from... A lot of times the question is posed a different way. But when you go to Daniel 10 and 3, you see that he fasted from everything. Food, water, right? Read, let me make sure. Daniel 10. Read that.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
I ate no pleasant bread.
Right, so he didn't eat bread, so there was no food. Go ahead.
Neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth.
Read.
Neither did I anoint
So
myself.
there was no wine, there was no drink. So he fasted from food and from liquid. So that's two things in one.
Right.
Now, if you're talking about fasting from food and social media, of course you can do that. If you're talking about fasting from, if you're on a, let's say, sex fast, sexual, and food, of course you can do that. Usually when you do, when we do fast, you want to abstain from as many things as you can for the fast to be as effective as it can. So if I'm going to go on a fast, if I say, listen, I'm fasting from food and from water, more than likely I'm not doing any sexual intercourse, because I want that fast to be as potent as possible. I want that fast to afflict my spirit as much as I can. So I'm going to abstain myself from as many things as I can in that 7 days or 3 days or 4 days, however amount of time you decide. But if you say, well, I'm doing a water fast, you can do that. It can be strictly just water. But usually if you say, well, I'm fasting, and you don't put specifics on it, usually you're fasting from everything: food, water, drinking, sex. Go to where do we want to go next? Read that one more time.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 3.
Uh-huh.
I ate no pleasant bread, neither came flesh nor wine in my mouth.
Go ahead.
Neither did I anoint myself at all, till 3 whole weeks were fulfilled.
Right, you see that? Go to 1 Corinthians 7 and 5 real quick. Wow, it is mega hot. That's not what you got to bring that on there. Go to 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 5.
1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 5. Defraud ye not one
Actually, hold that. Go to Matthew 4 and verse 1. Hold that and go to Matthew 4 and verse 1. Because Christ fasted, and we know that he fasted from food and from water, right? So it's just showing you that you can definitely fast from multiple things. You don't have to be, it doesn't have to be, I'm going to do a fast from one thing and then I'm going to wait. 7 days later, I'm going to fast from another thing, I'm going to wait. You could combine everything. But you don't want to put too much on you. You don't want to put too much on your fast that you can't handle it. Where we at?
Matthew chapter 4, verse 1.
Go ahead.
Then was Yahushua led up of the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted of the devil.
Uh-huh.
And when he had fasted 40
You
days,
did what?
when he had fasted 40 days
Go ahead.
and 40 nights,
Uh-huh.
he was afterward and hungered.
Right. So he didn't eat or drink anything for 40 days or for 40 nights. You see that? So there's your there's more than one thing there. It's better, I mean, the way I would do it, if I had a few things that I was dealing with, if I had a few things that I was fasting from, I would just do them in twos, right? 2s or 3s. Just say, hey, if I'm going to do the no food, no drink, I might as well throw the social media in there if that's an ailment, or if that's something that you need to fast from. If I'm going to do the no food, no drink, I'm going to do, I mean, usually if I do no food, no drink on a fast, then there's no sexual intercourse in there either. You take that out. Day of Atonement, right? Day of Atonement is a fast of no food, no water, right? For the day, no sex. What else is there? There's just no food, no water, no sex, right? So it's just showing you that, yeah, you can do more than one thing. There's a question. What is it that what are some of the things you're trying to fast from, just out of, for our knowledge? If you mind sharing, I would like to know. And then also with your fast, you know, you gotta go to Tobit. Go to Tobit 4, because with your fast, you also gotta add a few things into that fast. You don't just want to fast and then leave yourself open. We talk about this a lot. You know, a lot of people fast, and what happens is they fast from whatever it is, and then they don't do their fast the right way, and it doesn't work. It's not effective, because you forget about the praying, you forget about the almsgiving, right? You forget about these other essential things that go along with your fast. Go to Tobit 12. Tobit chapter 12 and verse 8.
Tobit chapter 12, verse 8. Prayer is good with fasting and alms and righteousness.
So it's these 4 things that you want to couple together. It says what?
Prayer.
So prayer. So while you're on your fast, you want to be praying. The prayer, you're praying for that strength. You're praying for that spiritual guidance to keep your mind focused for a few things. Because it's easy when you start getting on your fast, by day 2, whatever it is, the Spirit is pulling you around to get back to break your fast prematurely. So if you tell yourself, hey, I'm doing a 1-day fast, you best believe if you're not praying by half that day, the Spirit's trying to pull you back into breaking your fast. If you say you're doing 7 days, best believe, if you're not praying and keeping your mind mentally strong, studying, by the 2nd day, these spirits are trying to pull you to have you break your fast. So you want to do prayer, go ahead.
Is good with fasting and alms.
And almsgiving, right? Giving yourself, being around. Go ahead.
And righteousness.
And you got to be doing it for a righteous reason. Again, you got people that'll, you got the weed head he'll fast off of weed just so he can pass a P test. But then what will he do? He'll get right back on the weed after he gets the job. You got to be praying for a righteous you got to be fasting, for a righteous reason. You don't want to do it. You don't want to, I'm going to do it, fast off my drugs just so I can get a job, so I can pass the urine test. No. That's not what you want to be fasting for or fasting from. You want to make sure the reasons that you're fasting is because you see that there's certain things that are maybe distracting you, or there's certain things that are taking precedent over the spirit. So once you recognize that, you want to show the Most High that they don't have a control over you. So that's why that righteousness part is very, very, very important. Go ahead.
A little with righteousness is better than much with unrighteousness.
Go ahead.
It is better to give alms than to lay up gold. It is better to give alms than to lay up gold.
Right. That's why it goes into the almsgiving. So you want to have these 4 things added into your fast. Go to Psalm 69 and 10. Go to Psalm 69 and verse 10. So the question was about, can we fast for more than one thing at a time? Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, it's subject to each individual. Some individuals are a little stronger than others. Some have to I always say, if you're not accustomed to fasting, it's not something that you do on a regular basis, then you want to ease yourself in there. You want to ease yourself in there. You don't want to just cold turkey it and then end up breaking the fast premature. You want to ease yourself in with a good amount of time. You know, you don't want to say, oh, my first time fasting, I'm going to do a 7-day fast with no food, no water.
Right.
You want to, what you got?
Ecclesiastes chapter 4.
Uh-huh.
Chapter 5.
Hold that real quick and let me just get this real quick.
Okay.
I was on a point.
Oh, slap.
I was on a point. But go to that Psalms 69 and 10 real quick.
Psalm chapter 69, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
When I wept and chastened for my soul.
See, what was the fast about? Hold the scripture. Don't flip the Bible. Don't do anything. Just hold where you at. Read.
Oh, when I wept and chastened my soul with fasting.
See, the whole purpose of a fast is to chastise your soul. That's one of the purposes. Excuse me. It's not the whole purpose, but that's one of the purposes. It's to show the Most High that nothing should overtake the spirit. Nothing is going to come before Him. So you chastise your soul with fasting, right? But if you don't do it the right way, then you're going to end up breaking the fast anyway, prematurely. Then you won't even learn anything from it. The whole point of everything that we do is to show the Most High our diligence, our consistency, but also for us to learn from the things that we do. There's no point to hop into a fast. Again, we're all gung-ho and we all want to do the right thing. But if I know my spirit and I know that I can't go if I can't go 5 hours without eating, I'm not going to put myself in a position and say, yeah, I'm going to vow to the Most High a 7-day fast and can't keep it. Because the whole point was to afflict your soul, but you got to know your soul. You got to know that, okay, I can definitely do 24 hours. Let me try it. I know it's going to hurt. I know it's going to be hard, but I'm going to do it. So you do it. You pick a good time frame. I would die.
I was gonna ask, like, on the Sabbath, don't we fast on the Sabbath?
Yeah, you can. Not everyone does, but you can. That was my fast time.
But like we abstain from sexual intercourse.
Oh, okay, yes.
Abstain from, like, going out and drinking and partying and stuff like that. Isn't that technically like
That's
a
technically a
fast?
fast. Yeah. I mean, if you want to be technical, yeah, it is.
And
Because
it's
you got some people that, I mean, not no one in here, but you do have brothers and sisters that know that we're not supposed to have sex on the Sabbath, and guess what they do? They do it anyway because they try to justify, saying, oh, the Bible doesn't say that, and whatever the case may be. But we know, yes, it's a fast. It's a fast, and we're supposed to give our minds over, at least for that day, out of all days, to the Most High. You get away from your music, if that's what you're into, your video games, you put those down. You want to give your mind to studying, to congregating with brothers and sisters, and you put away everything else that you can do for the other 6 days. So yeah, technically, the Sabbath, we fast. I would use the Sabbath to actually, do your food, your drink for the day. Like, hey, I'm gonna fast for the day. So that, you got your food, your drink, your sex, your music, right? Your video games. You got, all the things that suck our brains for the whole 6 days of the week. You put those to the side. You put those to the side and you fast and you give your mind to the Most High. What was the scripture you were going to in Ecclesiastes? In Ecclesiastes.
In Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 4.
Ecclesiastes in the Bible.
Yes, sir.
Chapter 5. Let's see. Who got it? Go ahead, read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5 verse 4.
Uh-huh.
When thou vowest a vow unto the Most High.
Oh, so he's going back into the vow. Like if I say, listen, I'm going to fast for 7 days. You don't want to set yourself up to where you can only go 2 or 3 days. So it says, when I do what?
When thou vowest a vow unto the Most High.
Because when you say, hey, I'm going to fast, when you pray to the Most High and say, get me through this fast, you're basically vowing a vow to him. Go ahead.
Defer not to pay.
Do what?
Defer not to pay.
Yeah, make sure that you pay. So make sure that you set yourself up. Listen, it's not about making it easy. Because it's not supposed to be an easy thing, but at least know yourself. At least know yourself, at least try to push yourself. That's what it's about. It wasn't about like, oh, it's supposed to be an easy fast and fasting was supposed to be easy. We just read that it was supposed to chastise your soul. But at the same time, you don't want to try to put yourself on a 3-month fast and all of a sudden you can't keep it. So it says do what? Read it from the top.
Verse 4. When thou vowest a vow unto the Most High.
Go ahead.
Defer not to pay it.
Yeah, don't neglect to pay your debt. Don't write a check that your butt can't cash. Go ahead.
For he hath no pleasure in fools. Pay.
Yeah, the Most High don't take pleasure in you just throwing things out there foolishly. Go ahead.
Pay that which thou hast vowed.
Right, so you got to make sure that you're able to, it's for our betterment. So you want to set it up to where think about it. If every time you set up a fast and you say, yeah, I'm gonna do a 7 day, no food, no drink, no water, no sex, no video games, I'm gonna just bury myself in a cave, right, and not be around anything. And every time you do that, you only go 2 days. Where's the sense of accomplishment? Where's the sense of motivation? You kind of hurt yourself. So you want to at least give yourself a good time frame. Now you go to 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 5. 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 5, because we know that sex was something that you can fast from, not just on the Sabbath, but it was something that we fasted from. Go ahead and read that. 1 Corinthians 7 and verse 5.
Defraud ye not one the other,
Uh-huh.
except it be with consent for a time.
Right, so Paul in this chapter was dealing with married couples. And he was going through these different marriage issues and he was talking about defrauding one another sexually. He said, except it be for a time, go ahead.
That ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer.
And you may do what?
Give yourselves to fasting and prayer.
Right, so we know that we fasted from sex to keep our minds pure, to try to keep our minds on track with the Most High. So we fasted from sex with our partner, right? But with consent for a time. Now, that time was determined on that couple. Again, don't be out there talking about, yeah, we're going to do a year fast from sex, and then all of a sudden 6 months in, 2 weeks in, you done broke the fast. You got to make sure that when you vow to the Most High, because now you're setting these things up. I think we forget that. When we set these things up in our mind, or we put them out there in the spirit, that the Most High is like, okay, I'm going to hold you to this. So if I say, listen, I'm going to vow a fast, I'm going to fast, I'm not going to drink no water. Don't brothers be like, oh, I think I'm gonna break my fast prematurely. No, if you already put it in the spirit 3 days, try to stick to it. Push yourself. Be consistent. Be diligent. The Most High will bless that. But he said he takes no pleasure in fools. Because it's foolish to say 3 days and then break it the day of. It's foolish. You're not showing yourself anything. You're not pushing yourself. Abadiah.
Isn't the prayer too essential to the completion of the fasting? Like, while you're fasting, you continuously pray too to the Most High for the ability to maintain that fast and to.
But that's why, that's exactly why we went to Tobit 12, because it says prayer is good with fasting. Because the whole point of the prayer was to do what? Keep your mind engaged in the Most High. Ask for that strength. Ask for the Spirit to keep you enduring. That's what it was about. That's why you did pray. Because if you did it, you just setting yourself up. You just setting yourself up for spiritual attacks from other demons. Right? All of a sudden you hop off your fast and you dive even deeper into what you were fasting from. I know brothers that, I'm gonna do an alcohol fast. I'm gonna do an alcohol fast, and then guess what? They would fast from alcohol for 3 months. And then 3 months later, they're worse off of an alcoholic than they were the first time they fasted. Why? Because I'm gonna just fast off of alcohol, but where's your praying? Where's your almsgiving? Where's your righteousness? See, that's the thing about like people that fast in the world. What do they fast from? They fast from the same things that we fast from, right? But how come they're so belligerent when they get back into whatever it was that they were doing? Because they didn't pray to the Most High for the understanding of why I'm fasting. You know, they don't understand that the reason why I'm fasting from alcohol is because when I do drink, I see the effects of what it does in my household. They didn't get the understanding, so now I'm just fasting from alcohol. But you got to be praying to the Most High to open up your understanding on why are certain things happening in my life when I indulge too much. That's why Paul said it best. He said all things are lawful, but not all things are expedient. I'm going to get that. All things are lawful. He said all things are lawful. Go to
Romans 7.
Romans 7.
Yeah, it's Romans. That's the one you're looking for, right?
Yeah, there was another one. Go to.
It's Romans 7 and.
I was going to go to first. I was thinking Corinthians.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. 1 Corinthians 6 and 12. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 12.
Oh, right. Yeah, you got it.
My bad.
Yeah, no, you got it.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians 6 and verse 12. This is why Paul said this.
1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 12.
Go ahead, read that. Oh, everybody got it? Go ahead.
All things are lawful unto me.
See, all things are lawful. Even the things that we fast from, they're lawful. They're lawful. Alcohol is lawful. Sex is lawful. Food is lawful. The lawful foods, right? All these things that we partake in, it's not unlawful to be on social media. It's not unlawful to play a video game. But now, the problem is where it does get unlawful, where you lean too much to it. If you're a glutton, if you're a wine bibber, if you're a video game junkie, no 30-year-old grown man is supposed to be a video game junkie. No 18-year-old grown man is supposed to be a video game junkie. Or a wine bibber, or a gluttonous, or a, when you have too much sex, what they call it, nympho. You ain't supposed to be that. There's supposed to be a balance and an understanding of when things are needed. So Paul said it again. Read it one more time.
All things are lawful unto me.
Go ahead.
But all things are not expedient.
And even the things that are lawful are not expedient. Read.
All things are lawful for me.
We don't need to go that far. Go ahead.
But I will not be brought under the power of any.
But I will not be brought under the power of any. How? How would I not be brought under the power of any? When I see that it is trying to drag me, now I say, you know what? I'm going to fast from this. I'm going to fast from that. I'm going to fast from that. That's how you keep yourself from being dragged. I do it all the time. If I see myself trying to go too far into and they try to clown me, these guys over here, they try to clown me on it, because I don't be keeping up with the up-to-date movies. I'm like, yeah, I seen that Avengers. They're like, oh yeah, what's the last one that came out? The Last Avengers. Anyway, the last one. And I'm like, no, I seen that first one. They're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, I gotta gauge myself because I'll find myself, I know me. I know if I start getting into that, the TV, the series, I'll just dive right into it. So I just gauge myself. When I see myself giving my mind too much to the TV or too much to one thing, I pull back and I say, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna set up parameters. I'm gonna block my mind from just dipping all the way in. I know me. Right? I know me better than anyone knows me, and I know where my mind will go if I let it, if I don't govern it. So hopefully that answers that question on the fasting.
Let me
yes.
add just one to that.
Okay.
It's an
Bro, I spent a whole class the other day looking for that scripture.
right.
I don't think you're gonna find it in there
Yeah, it's
because I think we're wording it wrong. It's like I know, yeah.
no, I haven't found it yet. It's I know it's in Ecclesiastes. Yeah, it's in Ecclesiastes.
It's just the way it's written, the way it's worded.
I mean, we don't have to add it. I just knew it went right. It went right with what you were saying, what you were talking about. I was just over there too. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. What's the next question? We'll be looking for that.
Let's see here. Why was Cain's offering not accepted, but Abel's was? Was it the type of offering, the quality of the offering, or the way he set up the offering to give to the Lord? Let's go to Genesis. Why was Cain's
Who knows why?
Why was Cain's offer not accepted?
Who knows why Cain's offering was not accepted? Yeah. You raising your hand, sis?
Because what?
I can't hear you. Say that again. Because it wasn't his best offering. Okay. All right. No, that's wrong. What else? Who else knows? Who else knows? Why was not Cain's offering accepted? Now you're gonna be looking for that.
Let's go to Genesis chapter 4 real quick. While y'all think about that answer. Go to Genesis chapter 4. The question was why was Cain's offer not accepted?
Right.
Go to Genesis chapter 4 and we can start at verse.
Y'all gotta stop sitting here, man, and when these questions come out, y'all just sit here and wait for us to answer. Y'all supposed to be thinking. Lamar, why was Cain's offering not answered,
Not accepted.
not accepted?
Because he wasn't following the law.
Because then why you just didn't say that?
Oh, I know.
Oh, you know what? When I ask y'all, how do we know? how do we answer this question? And you know, you're supposed to stand up and answer the question. You hear in class, right? Well, then be in class. So what is the answer?
He didn't pass.
Stand up. Tell everybody in class.
He didn't follow the law that his dad passed down.
Right. He didn't follow the law. It didn't have nothing to do with how he set it up. What was it?
Was it the type of offering?
That one was right.
That was one of them.
Right.
The quality of the offering, or the way he set up the offering to give to the Lord.
Yeah, see, the offering had to be in the law, first of all. So he was wrong because the offering was wrong. The offering was according to the commandments. So where you at?
Genesis 4 and verse 3.
Genesis 4 and 3, go there.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 3.
Go ahead and read it.
And in the process of the time came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord.
Right.
And Abel he also brought of the firstling of his flock.
Mm-hmm.
So Abel did what?
He brought also of the firstlings of his flock.
So now when we know that dealing with the law, the Most High always required the first. That's why we have like the first fruits, the feast of the first fruits. The Most High required the firstling, we always read it through the scriptures, the firstling of the flock, right? The ram of the first year, unspotted, unblemished. And then obviously when you go through time, Yahushua was that ultimate sacrifice, that was that unblemished of the first of the flock, right? So the law was that we had to give the best, we had to give the first of our increase.
Right, but it was the sacrifice was an animal.
It was animal.
It was an animal. So he knew that, when you let me rewind that a little bit. Yes, we have certain things in the law about the first fruits, the feast of unleavened bread, and things of that nature. But the Most High wanted a sacrifice. This sacrifice was supposed to be. You can go to Leviticus. We read this last week too in class about the firstling, the males, right? It was supposed to be the best of the males, the best males among the flock. So this is what was supposed to happen first. Leviticus, it means Leviticus or Numbers, wherever one. This is good because coming to Sabbath class, y'all got to see that Sabbath class answers a lot of these questions and gives you a lot of information in the law that you need to answer these questions.
You can go to Exodus chapter 34 and 19.
Go there.
Exodus chapter 34 and verse 19.
Exodus 34 and 19.
Exodus chapter 34, verse 19.
Yeah.
All that openeth the matrix is mine, and every firstling
And every what?
and every firstling among thy cattle.
You see that? So he wanted the first of the cattle. Go ahead.
Whether ox or sheep, that is male.
And it had to be a male.
Mm-hmm.
Go to Leviticus 27 and verse 26.
So where was that one?
That was in Exodus 34 and verse 19.
Leviticus chapter 24.
27 and 26.
Leviticus chapter 27, verse 26. Only the firstlings of the beast which should be the Lord's firstling
Right. See, the firstling of the beast was the Lord's firstling. Like we read in Exodus, he said the firstling was his. Go ahead.
No man shall sanctify it, whether it be ox or sheep, it is the Lord's.
Right. So the firstlings belong to the Most High. So according to law, that's what they were supposed to come with. Abel, as we're going to go back to Genesis, we know Abel came with that, and he was accepted. But Cain didn't. Go back to Genesis.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 4. And Abel, he also brought of the firstling of his flock.
Tells us right there, he brought the firstlings of his flock, as the law commanded. Right? Go ahead.
And of the fat thereof. And the Lord
also in the law, the fat belonged to the Most High. Right? The fat wasn't used to season things up to make it have more flavor. We were supposed to give that to the Most High. That's also in the law. Go ahead.
And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
And this is why the Most High respected his offering, because it was law. He was a law-abiding citizen. Read.
But unto Cain and to his offering he had no respect.
Right.
Not respect.
He had not respect. How do we know that? We got to read down, right? But see, go ahead, read on.
And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell.
And Cain had the nerve. Think about it. Cain had the nerve to get upset. Cain had the nerve to get upset. He didn't do the right thing, but he had the nerve to be upset with the Most High. Just like some of us, where we don't follow law, we don't follow the things that the Most High laid down for us. And then when things don't work out, when the Most High rejects us and rejects that offering, what happens? We try to get mad, but we have no room to get mad. Go ahead, read on.
And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
Yeah, he's like, what you upset for? What are you mad about? Watch, read on.
If thou doest well.
If y'all do us what?
Well.
Cain didn't do what?
Well.
Yeah, Cain didn't do well. He didn't do the right thing according to the law. Go ahead.
Shall thou not be accepted?
Just like your brother. If you would have did the right thing, wouldn't you have been accepted? There's a question. So we know right here that Cain didn't do the right thing according to law. He did the opposite.
Right. Let's go. Did you finish that?
No.
Let's go to 2nd Ezra 3 and 4. Just to show that Cain had the law. Cain had the commandments, because I think a lot of times that be the confusion. Yeah, that everybody think, well, they weren't given the law. You know, Adam was given the law. Cain and Abel were given the law. They knew the commandments. They weren't given the written law. Moses did that. But Cain and Abel knew the verbal law of what they were supposed to give and do. You know, you got a lot of churches say that, you know, that this really confuses a lot of people, because they don't know the fact that the Most High already gave them the commandments. You see that? Go ahead.
2nd Esdras, chapter
3 and 4.
3 verse 4.
O Most High, who bearest rule.
Yeah.
Thou spakest at the beginning, when thou didst plant the earth, and that thyself alone, and commandest the people.
Right. So he gave a commandment to the people. He gave a commandment to the Adamites. Go ahead.
And gavest a body unto Adam.
Right.
Without soul.
Right.
Which was the workmanship of thine hand.
Read.
And didst breathe into him the breath of life.
Right. So we know the breath of life, according to Wisdom of Solomon 7:22, is wisdom. So this is how Adam ordered everything on earth. He gave him the wisdom of the Most High. He gave him the Holy Spirit. Go ahead.
And he was made living before thee.
Go ahead.
And thou leddest him into paradise.
Right.
Which thy right hand had planted.
Right. Go ahead.
Before ever the earth came forward.
Read.
And unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way.
He said he gave him what?
A commandment
to love thy way.
Unto him thou gavest commandment to love thy way. So, yeah, Adam was given commandment. Adam gave that commandment to his children to follow the commandment. They had all these things. All these things we have written down. That's what the Most High from the beginning used to set up the earth. The Most High gave the Holy Spirit to the righteous. And the ones that have the Holy Spirit, they would use the laws, commandments, and establish the earth in righteousness. And that's what Adam did. So the spirit on Cain he had a demon on him. He had spirits on him, rebellious spirits, that he's going to do what he had to do. It wasn't, think about it, it wasn't just that, it was fruit. You already know what you're supposed to be doing, right? But you're not doing it. So the scriptures tell you about Cain being of the devil is because this spirit in him, this individual had a rebellious spirit in him from the door, so he did against the commandments of the Most High. Y'all understand that? So go from there. Let me add another one. Let me see here. I want to get another one here. Just want to add to that one about them giving the commandments. This is there's one more in Ecclesiastes. Bear with me 1 second. You want to have this for your arsenal. You can go here. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 2. But there's another one I'm looking for. Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 2.
God.
Go ahead and read that.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 2.
Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 2. Go ahead.
And ordained man through thy wisdom,
Right.
that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made.
Right. Start from 1. Read from 1 on down again.
God.
Go ahead.
O God, of my fathers, and Lord of my mercy, who has made all things with thy word,
Right.
and ordained man through thy wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made.
Right. So he gave man wisdom. We know the wisdom is the laws, the statutes and commandments over the creatures. That's why Adam was able to set everything in order. He was able to put the earth in order and establish righteousness on the earth. But when they disobeyed the commandment, that's when Adam fell. But they still had the laws. They still had the commandments. So, go ahead, read on.
And ordered the world according to equity.
Right. See, he and think about it. If the Most High gave Adam this wisdom, he had to teach his wife, he had to teach his kids. They all knew. This was supposed to be instilled. So Cain came with something else, something different than what was ordered. All right. I can't find that other one, but all right, jump back to Genesis. Oh, I had it.
Genesis chapter 4 verse 8.
Yeah, go back to Genesis. Go ahead and read that. That's fine.
Oh, Genesis chapter 4, verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted.
Right, so it was a question. So we know that Cain didn't do the right thing according to the law. That's why he wasn't accepted. Go ahead.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him.
Right, that was the problem with Cain. He fell into that sin. He fell into wanting to be joined to that sin because he didn't follow the commandment. So it wasn't that he didn't set his offering up right. He didn't give the right offering according to the law. It wasn't the quality and it wasn't the way he set it up, but definitely the type of offering was wrong.
Right.
Lawfully.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Malachi chapter 1 verse 14. Malachi 1 and 14. Y'all got it?
God. Malachi chapter 1, verse 14.
Does everybody have it?
Aye.
Go ahead.
But cursed be the deceiver, which hath in his flock a male, and voweth and sacrificeth unto the Lord a corrupt thing.
Read it all again.
God. But cursed be the deceiver, which hath in his flock a male, and voweth and sacrificeth.
Sacrificeth.
Oh, it's a lot. Sacrificeth unto the Lord a corrupt thing. For,
Yeah, so you got to read it correctly though, because how you're reading it comes out confusing. But he's saying you had the correct offering, you had the right thing to offer in the commandments, but you go, instead of going to the best of the flock, you're gonna go get the spotted ones, the ones that are damaged, the ones that are bruised. So the Most High said that's a curse.
You're going to get a female instead of a male.
Yeah, you're going to get a female instead of a
That's
male.
what it says. Curse be the deceiver, which hath in his flock a male, and voweth and sacrifice unto the Lord a corrupt thing. So you know you're supposed to give that male of the first year, male of the first year, but what did you give? I'm going to give a female that's all beat up.
Right.
Because the males, think about a male. It's funny, we were talking, because the males are valuable. We
Yeah.
were talking to the brother that came to class the other day, and he said he was raising goats. And we're like, oh, so what do you need, like a bunch of males, a bunch of females? He was like, nah, you need 2 good males and a bunch of females, because that's all you really need is two or 3 males. But you got an abundance of females. All they do is just go around, do their business, and just keep them having babies. But think about it, you lose one of those males, you lose some livelihood. The Most High wanted that. He wanted to see that, where was your faith? If I'm gonna take one of these males from you, where's your faith at? The males are the ones that carry the seed. So they were always, all they had to do was just drop a male around a bunch of females, and they'd just make those babies. But think about what was being sacrificed when you gave that male up. What did the cattle represent?
Right. Money.
That represented our money. So think about what you were giving up. You were giving up some of your livelihood, so to speak. Now you have to rely on faith. But see, read it one more time.
but cursed be the deceiver, which hath in his flock a male.
See, that deception, just like Cain. Cain dealt with that deception, where he thought he was going to bring to the Most High whatever he wanted. He thought he was going to deceive the Most High and bring, who knows what he brought. He probably brought some vegetables or something. He probably brought some. I mean, obviously, if he didn't bring an animal,
Right, he brought something.
he probably
that was
brought
off.
something that was off. He probably brought some type of actual fruit, some vegetable, and thought that he could offer that. But he tried to be deceiving, deceitful. Go ahead.
And voweth and sacrifice.
Because you know what you're supposed to be vowing.
And, right, it says, and voweth and sacrifice unto the Lord a corrupt thing.
Go ahead.
For I am a great king, saith the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen.
Yeah, but how come his name ain't dreadful among us? That know what we're supposed to be giving up.
Right.
And knowing the terror of the Most High, the terror and the greatness. We know how the Most High rolls. How come we ain't willing to do what it takes to please Him? Why is it that we think we're going to do things our own way? Like Cain. We can't get into that deceiving mind, because you're going to just deceive yourself. And the Most High, like you said, He's terrible, right? Dreadful. He's dreadful among the heathen. The devil, like the scripture says, Satan knows and trembles.
Yep.
But Israel don't even blink an eye at the Most High. It's like, well, yeah, that's just God. You use the word God. You don't even say the Most High. That's just God. We gotta reevaluate where our respect is for the Most High. Very important. Anything else?
Yeah, there's one in Proverbs 15 and 18.
That was nice.
You know what? Hold on. Go to the one in Proverbs 21:27. Proverbs 21:27. Y'all got it?
Proverbs chapter 21, verse 27.
Okay. We asked y'all if y'all got it, so we won't run past y'all with scriptures. So it would be out of courtesy to either tell us yes or no. All right, go ahead.
The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination.
Right. So where are we at?
Proverbs chapter 21, verse 27.
Go ahead.
The sacrifice of the wicked is abomination.
Yeah. What they're giving is an abomination. Why? Because it's not what the Most High wants. The Most High, watch, it's going to tell us, read.
How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind.
That's how, going back to what you were saying about people giving, brothers and sisters giving. They give it grudgingly. They give it unwillingly. They give it with a, they give it with a mind of regret. They give it with they trying to look and see where that's going to go type of mind. The scripture's saying that mind ain't accepted. So your sacrifice ain't accepted. So Cain was that type of individual, man. You can see now why he killed Abel. Because this was festering. Y'all got to remember, this ain't something that just pops in a person's head one day. It's like we say, a character deficiency. It's something in your character where you got demons on you that makes you think and do certain things. So this is why Cain did that. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to just read this into Josephus real quick. It's Josephus, page 31. Another little historical reference book, not the Bible. Josephus was a Jewish historian, but this goes right along with what you're saying. And we know that Cain, he didn't just come up with a plot one day it was just out of the blue. I'm gonna give the Most High the wrong thing, I'm gonna go kill my brother. This was something that was in him from a long time. And when you read this, this is book 1, chapter 2, section 1. It said Adam and Eve had 2 sons. The elder of them was named Cain, which, let's see here. The younger was Abel. Now the 2 brethren were different courses of life. For Abel, the younger, was a lover of righteousness, and believing that God was present at all his actions. He excelled in virtue. His employment was that of a shepherd. But Cain was not only very wicked in other respects, but was wholly intent on getting. So it's showing you that Cain was their different courses of life, they were opposite. One was a lover of righteousness. One was on the left hand, where he didn't follow the Most High in the commandment.
Yeah, write this one down. I'm just gonna read it real quick, just on what it says, what he just read. It says, this is Proverbs 15:27. He that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house, but he that hateth gifts shall live. So you got people that are, what did it say about Cain?
But Cain was not only very wicked in other respects, but his whole intent upon getting.
Right. That's why he came back in Proverbs 1:19. It says, so are the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life of the owners thereof. Because what would they do? They would do anything. Cain had that spirit on him to where he wanted to be recognized by the Most High. And he was going to get what he wanted by any means necessary. Instead of doing it by the right way, he was going to do it through murderous, through killing, through envy. This is why you got to watch that spirit of Cain, because when it gets in you, you start looking at everybody else. Then you start envying another brother or sister because they got this or they got that or they're gifted with that, or then it transforms into, well, you like them over me. You, instead of saying, wait a minute, if you know that if you do good, that'll be accepted. But you got a lot of people with that spirit on them, like, well, you know what? If you don't like the way I'm giving it, then whatever. The Most High wants a sacrifice that's willing and that's acceptable unto Him. Go ahead.
Oh, that was on my part.
Yeah.
Can I get one in John?
Yeah.
1 John 3 and verse 12. And going along with these proverbs, what was the last one that you pulled in Proverbs?
Proverbs 1:19.
1:19, right. 1 John chapter 3 and verse 12.
1 John chapter 3, verse 12.
That's the one.
Go ahead.
Not as Cain,
Go ahead. Not as who?
not as Cain,
Read.
who was of that wicked
He
one.
was of that what?
That wicked one.
Yeah, see, Cain was of the wicked one. It's telling us right here. They both had the same parents, right? Cain and Abel.
Fine.
But so how was he of that wicked one? What is it saying?
He had that spirit of him.
He had that spirit.
on him.
He had that spirit on him. Why? Because he didn't follow the righteous.
Fine.
So not of that wicked one. Go ahead.
And slew his brother.
He did what?
He slew his brother.
Go ahead.
And wherefore slew he him?
Yeah, like what did he kill his brother for? Read on.
Because his own works were evil.
Yeah, he slew him because his own works were evil. 1 John 3 and verse 12. Because of his own works were evil and not accepted, that envy, that jealousy, that rage comes out. Right? That greedy of gain, that comes out. What was Cain trying to gain that he didn't get?
Approval from the Most High.
Yeah. The Most High didn't approve him. He was greedy of that approval. Right? He wanted that recognition. Most High said, nah, you didn't do the right thing, so what did he do? Well, I'm going to take you out because you did the right thing. That doesn't make sense. Read it one more time.
1 John chapter 3, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one,
Read.
and slew his
Yeah,
brother.
you see that? I like that. It says, who was of that wicked one.
Fine.
So he was of that wicked spirit, man. That some brothers and sisters carry around till this day. You still hold on to the grudging. You still hold on to the, I'm not doing the right thing, so I got to defame you because you are.
Right.
Brothers and sisters still hold on to that. Or I'm not getting the recognition I feel like I deserved. I did this, and that for the truth. How come I'm not getting recognized? The Most High sees it if it's from your heart. And if it's lawful, he'll recognize you. But if you're doing wicked, nobody's gonna recognize that.
And then if your intentions ain't pure, the Most High knows your heart.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, that'd be the trial. Like you'll give you one person to do the smallest thing, and they'd be like, "Oh wow, yeah, whoa," right? And then you be doing 100 things and you won't get acknowledged because the Most High is putting you through it because your heart ain't there. Your heart ain't there. You want acknowledgement. You want somebody to toot the horn. So you got to watch out that spirit, the spirit of Satan, the spirit of Cain, which is my intentions aren't right. My intentions aren't pure. You know?
Yeah, I'm just here to be recognized.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna get you too far because you'll end up doing the wrong thing anyway. You'll do the wrong things for the wrong reasons.
Yep.
And you won't be recognized just like Cain. But Cain, as we're reading, he had that wicked. He was of that wicked one.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And wherefore slew him.
Yeah, like what was the purpose of him killing him? What was the purpose of Cain killing Abel? Read on.
Because his own works were evil.
Yeah, because Cain's own works were evil. And that wickedness in him is what propelled the way he did things. He wanted to drown out that righteousness. Go ahead.
And his brothers righteous.
You see that? And his brothers were righteous. So there's a little insight onto why Cain was rejected. He wasn't going to do the right thing from the jump anyway. He wasn't going to do the right thing. The Most High gave him that opportunity. You gotta ask yourself, what was the whole purpose of the Most High even saying, "Hey, I need a sacrifice"? What was he asking them to for a sacrifice for? He wanted to see where Cain was at. And it showed. It showed. John, what's up?
I had the scripture in Genesis with Cain, with the offering. I had a precept written down, but can you clarify it?
What is it?
It's in Hebrews 11 and 4, the last precept.
Go there real quick.
Hebrews chapter 11, verse 4. By faith Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous.
Right.
The Most High testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh. So
it says, by faith Abel offered unto the Most High a more excellent sacrifice than Cain. Now, remember we read in Josephus that Abel knew that the Most High was present. He had the faith that the Most High was present throughout all his doings. So, think about it. The law is there, right? Was their law written down? So they knew they had to follow the law. They had to follow something that the Most High commanded it. So that he was following that out of faith. Like, listen, if you give this offering, this is what the Most High wants. So that was Abel showing his faith through following the law, through following the commandment. Go ahead.
By which he obtained witness that he was righteous.
He did what?
He obtained witness that he was righteous.
This is how we know when we read in 1 John 3 and 12 that where it said Abel's works were righteous. This is how we know, because he followed the commandments. It's the only way. How do we know that we're righteous? We follow the commandment. And we see the what's the word I'm looking for? The benefit, right? Or the product, the fruit of following the righteous. Right? You with me so far?
God.
Go ahead.
The Most High testifying of his gifts.
Go ahead.
And by it, he being dead, yet speaketh. That's the part I didn't understand.
God testifying of his gifts, and by it, he being dead.
So when he was killed, when Cain killed him, the Most High was able to hear his blood from the cry from the earth. Go to it's in the Apocrypha. It's in Esdras.
I have a question.
Yeah.
On that part where it said, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous. Could you expound on that? What do you mean?
So, where is it? By which he obtained witness that he was righteous. What was the witness of Abel's righteousness? What was the witness? What let us know? What was the one thing that said, oh, this was a righteous man?
Yeah.
Because he was actually following the law.
But how do we know? How do we know he followed the law?
His gifts were accepted.
His gifts were what?
Accepted.
The Most High accepted his gifts. That's why it says, the Most High testifying of his gifts.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because when you read it in Genesis, it said he came with the firstling of his fruits, flocks, the fat thereof. The Most High testified of his gifts. We knew that these were the gifts that the Most High wanted. Think about it. He didn't testify of Cain's gifts. He just said he was rejected and that was it. So we knew it wasn't the right thing. Right? So is that clear?
Psalms 9 and 12, but there's another one. It's got to be in Ezra's. Yeah, go to Psalms 9 and 12.
Psalms chapter 9, verse 12.
Yeah, Psalms 9 and 12. I always.
When he maketh inquisition for blood.
Right. When he maketh inquisition of blood, meaning that when the Most High comes back, he's gonna make an inquisition of blood of the righteous. He's going to, all the blood that's being shed by the wicked, the Most High is going to require that at the hand of the wicked. Right? It says by a man who sheds blood, his blood shall be shed in Numbers. So the Most High is requiring that blood. So read on.
He forgetteth.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
When he maketh inquisition for blood, he remembereth them. He forgetteth not the cry of the humble.
Right. So he forgetteth not the cry of the humble. That means that you get these humble, righteous men that are gunned down and shot, killed in these streets. That's not 9 and 12 Psalms. When you get shot down in these streets, the Most High what? Your blood cries from the earth. It cries to the Most High. See? And the Most High is going to hear you were righteous. And when it's time to require that blood, he's going after those people. So Cain killing Abel, Abel's blood being righteous, a righteous man, was screaming out in the earth. Some blood, some murders don't never get solved. Some people, their murders get solved. Why? Because that blood crieth out. The Most High finds a way to get that murderer. Y'all see that? 18.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
So you've read that scripture that talks about how the Most High doesn't punish the innocent. So I understand what that means. But like if someone gets murdered and they're a humble person, would that not be like an act of the Most High punishing them? They get murdered?
Repeat that again. Say it a little louder.
So the scripture that talks about how the Most High doesn't punish the innocent.
Right. He doesn't punish the innocent, right?
So if a person gets murdered and they're a humble person, would that be an act of the Most High punishing them? If they get
Well, now you're going into death. Remember it said they took it out from among us, right? We didn't know why they died, but the Most High takes them away, right? So, let's say it could be in a car accident. It could be, oh, you're specifically talking about murder. It could be you get shot with a random bullet. You know what I mean? So, we don't know all the time. I talked about this before. We don't know all the time why and what is done. You know? So, I mean, think about the 7 brothers. They were murdered, right? Yeah, they were boiled, right? Was it because they were wicked? I mean, if you want to technically say, well, no one's just, right? we all deserve our punishments in that sense. But from what we've seen, that these men died for righteousness. But how did they die? How did Christ die? He was murdered. Right. So you can't necessarily account it like that and say you're going to know every reason, every why this person dies. You know, it ain't necessarily all the time. You know, only the wicked die by a lion eating them up. You know, it ain't always like that. Or fire jumping through their house, you know, and burning them up. Right? Same thing with the righteous. You see that? What's that?
Wisdom of Solomon 3.
About what? What point?
That
What point of which? What point?
the souls of the righteous.
Right. No, you don't have to go there.
I'm going to steal your scripture.
Which one?
2 Ezra 15 and 8.
15 and 8. Yeah, that's the one I was looking for. 2 Ezra 15 and
2 Ezra chapter 15 and verse 8.
2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 8.
Uh-huh. Y'all got it? Let's see here. Yeah, go ahead. 2 Ezra 15 and verse 8. 2 Ezra 15 and verse 8.
I will hold my tongue no more
Uh-huh.
as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit.
Let's see here. Let's see.
That's it.
No, I was gonna go to read verse 5. This will be good, a little context.
2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 5. Behold, saith the Most High, I will bring plagues upon the world,
Go ahead.
the sword, famine, death, and destruction.
Go ahead.
For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
And that's the problem, where wickedness has polluted the earth. So the Most High is going to bring all these things upon the earth. Go ahead.
And their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Read on.
Therefore,
And this is why. Read on.
Therefore saith the Most High, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness,
Go ahead.
which they profanely commit.
Because that's the problem with the wicked. They'll just do whatever. There's no bounds to their wickedness. They'll do whatever it takes to continue to be wicked.
In Psalms 10, it says they murder the wicked. I mean, they murder the righteous. They set up, they plant, they connive, they hide to seek to persecute the righteous, to catch us.
They seek for that blood.
Yeah, they look for that blood.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Go ahead.
Neither will I suffer them in those things
Read.
in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and the righteous blood crieth unto me.
You see that? That innocent blood that they take, that they spill, just like Cain spilled that innocent blood of Abel, it cries to the Most High. Go ahead.
And the souls of the just complain continually.
Even their souls are complaining.
There you go.
Like when the scriptures say the soul goes back to the Most High, they go up there and they complain. But the Most High sees it. That's the thing that we gotta understand. He sees it.
Yeah.
He sees everything. Go ahead. Was that it?
Verse 9. And therefore saith the Most High, I will surely avenge them,
Yeah, there's gonna be vengeance. Read.
and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them.
Just like in that Psalms, he's gonna repay that blood. He's gonna require that arm for arm, tooth for a tooth, blood for blood. Go ahead.
Behold, my people is led as a flock.
That's it on that. Now jump back to Genesis chapter 4 and verse 10, so we can see what Hebrews 4, 11 and what was that? Hebrews 11, what it was referring to, as far as in that story. Go back to Genesis chapter 4 and verse 10.
Genesis chapter 4, verse 10.
Go ahead.
And he said, what hast thou done?
This is the Most High speaking to Cain. Go ahead.
The voice of thy brother's blood.
The what?
The voice of thy brother's blood
Because he was that innocent, righteous man. Go ahead.
crieth unto me from the ground.
Go ahead.
And now art thou cursed from the earth, which hath opened up her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand?
You see that? So that Most High, man, it's cold. He said, ain't you cursed from the earth? The same earth that opened up to receive that blood? I'm putting a curse on you. You see that? So, just showing what it was referring to in that Hebrews, where that righteous blood is crying to the Most High from the earth. Y'all understand that? Crystal clear? Con. So hopefully that answers. Did they ask it online? Yeah, they asked it online. Hopefully that answers that question.
Next question is, it says, Shalom, what would the proper stay focused on the Lord?
What would be a proper stay focused on the Lord?
What would be a proper stay focused on the Lord? Because I am battling with watching porn and messing with and it messes with my commitment and consistency.
Go to the Apocrypha. Usually why this happens, go to the Apocrypha. Ecclesiastes 10. Hold on a second before we go there. So what was the question?
It says
How to stay focused, right? So they won't get caught up into negative things, right?
correct.
So how are we going to answer this? How do you stay focused? All right, how about this? What usually is the problem where people lose focus? Right. Okay, that's what happens. That's what happens after the fact, right?
Right.
Okay, but what usually is the beginning of the problem where people lose focus? Right here, let me give you another hint. They are what?
Idle.
They're idle. You know what I mean? They're idle. Right? The first thing is you're idle. What you're doing, there's not enough going on for you. So read that, 10 and 18.
Ecclesiastes chapter 10, verse 18.
Ecclesiastes 10 and 18. Let me know when y'all got it.
Time.
Okay, go ahead.
For I was not made for men, nor furious anger.
Ecclesiastes
10.
10 and 18. Read it again.
For I was not made for men.
Am I reading it? Hold on, maybe I'm tripping. No, that's not it. Hold on one second. My bad.
Ecclesiastes.
My bad. Ecclesiasticus 33.
God.
Ecclesiastes 33 and 27. Yeah. And then we'll go to the one in Ecclesiastes. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 33, verse 27.
Uh-huh.
Send him to labor.
Right. Well, read up a little bit. 25.
Verse 25.
Uh-huh.
If thou set thy servant to labor,
Uh-huh.
thou shalt find rest.
Right.
But if thou let him go idle,
And let him go what?
go idle, he shall seek liberty.
If you let him go idle, you what?
He shall seek liberty.
So you're supposed to do what? Dude, read it again, dude.
Oh, God.
Dude, read it one more time.
If thou set thy servant to labor,
Find it today.
Go ahead.
thou shalt find rest.
Right. If you have a servant. Now we're the servant of who?
Most High.
The Most High, right?
Time.
If you have a servant that is not doing nothing, send him to what?
Labor.
Send him to what?
Labor.
sending him to work. Right? Now hold that. Let's go to Matthew's. Did you find it?
Matthew 26.
What is it?
Matthew 26.
Go to Matthew 26. Hold that. Do not let that go. Please. Go to Matthew 26.
Matthew chapter 20, verse 6.
Go ahead. Read that.
And about the 11th hour,
Uh-huh.
he went out and found others standing idle.
Right. So, about the 11th hour, this parable is saying, there was, hold on one second. Yeah. Probably read up. Go, where you at? What verse you at?
Verse 6.
Read up to verse 5.
Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Again, he went out about the 6th and 9th hour and did likewise.
Uh-huh.
And about the 11th hour,
Right.
he went out
Right.
and found others standing idle.
Right.
And saith unto them,
Mm-hmm.
Why stand ye here all the day idle?
Right. So he said, listen, go get these ones that are bid into the marriage. The ones that are what?
Idle.
Idle. Idle. Now, what does it say? When we're out there in the world, when we're doing and running and so-called living our life, right?
God.
He said, go there and bid them to the marriage. The marriage is the kingdom. The marriage is you marrying your spirit in with Yahweh Shai. He said, go get them that are idle. He said, when he went out there, they're idle. What were they? What's another word for idle that we found out the other day? Slothful. They're not doing nothing. Like it says, the duty of man is to keep the commandments, right? The duty of an Israelite man, he says, he called you to be priests unto the Lord, right? That's the Israelite man. So a lot of times, a lot of these spirits get a hold of us. Where the question online, where you're jacking off, where you start smoking cigarettes again, where you're popping pills, where you're losing your mind, is because you're idle. You ain't doing nothing. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, well, I work. I'm going home. I'm tired at the end of the day. Yeah, you're doing all things for the flesh, but you're idle in the spirit. You're not working in the spirit to deal with your spiritual things. So what do you start to get into? Right? You start to get into every other thing. That's why, go jump back now to the Apocrypha.
God. Ecclesiastes chapter 33, verse 25.
Go ahead.
If thou set thy servant to labor,
Right?
thou shalt find rest.
Right, you're going to find rest. So what does the Most High do when he calls us? He sends us to labor. You go back to all the parables in Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. He says, go get these people, these men, and you're going to send them with their talents to bring forth more talents. Go get these men. They're going to be my husbandry. They're going to go and build. Right? So, all these parables was to get you from being idle on your path in your life and to get you busy doing the will of the Most High. So, when it comes down to a lot of these things, you know, the question he read online is, you're beating off because you're idle. You're doing things out of the spirit because you're idle. You ain't got no purpose. You got time on your hand. See, if you're around here, we would put you to work. We would do what the scriptures say. A lot of brothers and sisters, like me and a brother was talking. A while back, he was talking about his rib. She keep bugging him on small things and making small things big. I said, well, what do you got her doing? What is she doing? Well, she does this, she does this. Well, he went through a few things. She does this, she does this, she does this. I said, yeah, you need to put more on her hands because she's idle. Well, she's doing a lot. And obviously, she's not. Because her mind still got time to do what? Entertain demons. You know what I mean? You know why we ain't got time to entertain demons? Because we constantly got stuff to do in the spirit. It's always some counsel with some knucklehead. So we have to go back to do what? Right in the Bible and study to go against his or her question. So there's no time for us to be idle. If it ain't us dealing with somebody in class, it's us dealing with our wives at home. If it ain't us dealing with our wives at home, it's dealing with our children. If it ain't dealing with the children, then we're putting a class together for the class, for the cable show, for street speaking. It's constantly like we ain't got time to be idle. So the Bible is true. And every man's a lie. If you got things that you're doing and busy in the work, your mind is constantly on the work and the word. But when you're not doing nothing, you're thinking about what? I need a woman. I need a man. I need this. I need that. You start tapping into that carnal mind. I'm going to do it this way. I'm not going to do it that way. But when you're in the spirit is constantly flooding your brain. Read.
But if thou let him go out idle, he shall seek liberty.
He shall seek what?
Liberty.
This is Israelites. You know what I mean? That's why they want liberty. They want liberty because they want to do their purpose instead of doing the will of the Most High. They want to run. They want to hide. I don't want to be around because I'm going to be seen. I'm going to be revealed. You know, that's why you hear a lot of people online. You don't need a camp. Why? Because you know those demons on you are going to be put on blast. You're going to be told about yourself and you're going to be revealed, and you don't want to do that. You rather sit in your mire. So you what? You run and you hide. Go ahead.
And yoke and a collar do bow the neck.
Right. It says a yoke and a collar, meaning work. Work will get you to what? Humble yourself. See, go ahead.
So are torches and torments.
Go ahead.
For an evil servant.
Right, but for an evil servant, and we know that nowadays the Most High deals with that evil servant. Because you are a servant of the Most High. So you can't get tortured. Back in the days, you probably get whipped. But now, the scriptures tell us don't do that. Lay not thy hand suddenly on no man. Go ahead.
Send him to labor.
Do what?
Send him to labor.
But he is reminding us, do what?
Send him to labor.
If you got a brother that's don't know how to stop smoking cigarettes, you got a what?
Send him to labor.
If you got a brother that's a brother or sister that's masturbating, do what?
Send him to labor.
Right, because you're not doing nothing. What are you surrounding yourself around? You send him to work, because that's going to occupy the mind and get the mind off. That's why, like I said, majority of you on Instagram. That's majority of your time. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, arguing with some knucklehead that don't know nothing about nothing online. Right? You got too much time on your hand. See, but when you come up in here, we be trying to get you. Because we know why you got demons on you. We know why you duck and you hide. Because you don't want to be revealed. So we be trying to get you around to blaze you. To put those spirits out of you. But the thing with the work is this. You can't make somebody be around. But that's why you go back home and you still marinate in those demons. Because you don't run to the light. You're running from the light. So that's the problem with a lot of people. They're idle. They're slothful. Right? Go ahead.
God, send him to labor that he be not idle.
Go ahead.
For idleness teaches much evil.
Yeah, idleness teaches much evil. Would you got something right in on that?
Proverbs 10 and verse 16.
Idleness teaches much evil.
Proverbs chapter 10 verse 16.
God. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 16.
No, I'm asking that.
Read that.
The labor of the righteous.
The what?
The labor of the righteous.
Just going right along what you're saying. This is why we try to snatch brothers' time. Because for one, it's righteous works. It says the labor of the righteous, go ahead.
Tended to life.
Wait. You gonna masturbate?
Tended to life.
Go ahead.
The fruit of the wicked to sin.
And see, that's the difference. It says Proverbs 10 and verse 16. Read it one more time.
The labor of the righteous tended to life.
Right, and that's the whole purpose. We're supposed to be bringing that life to each other, to the nation. That's what we're tending to. We're tending to building. Go ahead.
The fruit of the wicked.
Yeah, but see, the labor of the wicked, the fruit that comes from their labor, it's always sinful. That's why you get caught up in masturbation. You get caught up in getting caught up with the women the wrong way.
Frivolous battles. And
That's it on that. Let's see here.
let me get one. Let me throw one in there. Proverbs what?
29 and verse 18.
Go to Proverbs 29 and 18.
God.
Proverbs 29 and 18.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18.
Go ahead.
Where there is no vision.
Where there's no what?
No vision.
What's another word for vision?
Purpose.
God. Purpose. Exactly. Now you in my head. Purpose. Read it one more time.
Where there is no vision.
Where there's no purpose. If you don't got no goals and aspirations in the spirit of the Most High, go ahead.
The people perish.
Yeah, you know why a lot of people are diminished, because our people ain't doing nothing. They're not doing nothing. And it's not because I said it, it's because Christ said, go get them, bid them to the marriage, and when you find them, we find them idle. So that's telling me that the people out here that think they're busy as hell, that they got purpose in life, they don't. They're idle. Why? Because their purpose ain't following the will of the Most High. So they ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing to benefit themselves in life. So where does their vision stop? Their vision stops like day by day. What you gonna do today? I'm just living, dog. I'm living life. You went from blunt to blunt, peel to peel, 40 to 40. So in life, there is a purpose. Everybody has a purpose in life. But we're not talking about everybody's purpose. We're talking about the Most High's purpose. Right? Why you get caught up into negative? Because you're not on a higher you're not on a higher purpose. You're not on a higher calling. Your purpose might be what? My wife and my boo and my kids. My only purpose to live is for me, my family, and my kids. That's my only purpose. You got those individuals out there, right? That, nah, bro, it's about my kids, my wife, my family. I'll die for it. That's my purpose. Now, and there's nothing wrong with that, but we're talking about the purpose, the ultimate purpose is supposed to be the Most High. Everybody got ribs, wife, family, husbands, con. But what goes first? What's supposed to be the first thing is supposed to be our goals, our aspirations in life. To achieve the kingdom, right? But then what with that? How do we achieve the kingdom?
Pleasing the Most High.
By pleasing the Most High. And how do we please the Most High? Keeping His commandments. And how do we keep it? And keeping His commandments, what is that going to do for us?
Give us wisdom.
It's going to give us wisdom how to do what? To get closer to who? The Most High. Right? But what does it give? Why are we getting this Bible? Just to get it? Why then? To teach. What else?
Become like the Most High.
There you go. I'm trying to get all the way. I'm trying to get all these out to get back to the point, which is you getting the Bible to change. So your purpose is two things: to get the kingdom, to get closer to the Most High. But how do I get closer to the Most High unless I change? That's the purpose in life. That's supposed to be the only goal. But your purpose in life, everything else in between is, my purpose is pleasing my wife. My purpose in life is being there to buy Pampers for my kids. My purpose in life is to get rich or die trying. My purpose in life is to sit at home, play the video games. My purpose in life is to be the best basketball player I can be. To be the best football player I can be. That's your purpose. So your vision daily is what? That. What you gonna do? I'm gonna do 1,000 back and forths, right? 1,000 back and forths. Why? Because when I'm 6 now, and my purpose in life is to what? Be like LeBron James. Or I'm gonna throw that football. That's my purpose. That's the world's purpose. So the reason why a lot of us, we fall into destruction, because you have no purpose. You have no real vision. And that's our problem. So if you want to be in the spirit, so what are you occupied in? You're occupied in spiritual things. Right? Your mind is occupied in spiritual things. So instead of 1,000 million dribbles, you're trying to answer. That's why I said this. It makes me upset that like we hear the same questions all the time. Some of y'all should have 1,000 scriptures for some of these questions, because they're the same questions over and over and over and over again. It's like it's rare we get different questions, which is not wrong, but it's not wrong that we don't get different questions or it's the same thing. It's just that a lot of y'all are supposed to be having ammo to be able to say, Khan, I know you've answered this question 1,000 times the same way. Let's go. Why did Cain offering not get sacrificed? Why? Because he didn't keep the commandments. How do we know that? Go to 2nd Ezra. Go to Ecclesiastes. Like, you're supposed to have it already all written down. But y'all sit here, we answer these questions 1,000,000 times. Like, how you know Esau ain't Japhet? Y'all 1,000 ways to answer that question. But what? Y'all don't sit down and write them down. You don't sit down and be studied to teach. So therefore, when the answers come up, how do you answer that? I'm going to start doing that every question now. We're going to stop just answering everything. We're going to get y'all to answer. See if y'all can answer these the right way. So, back to the point. Read Proverbs again.
Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18. Where there is no vision, the people perish.
There is no vision, the people perish. So, back to the question, brother, or sister, I don't know who that was, a brother or a sister. The way you're gonna get from the porn is you gotta start occupying yourself with things that lead you into the spirit, right? You gotta occupy yourself with things that lead you into righteousness. See, go to Ecclesiastes. God, occupy. Ecclesiastes 12:3. I let you know where my head was. Ecclesiastes 12:3. Come on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil.
Right. You see that? If you always around the weed guy, you ain't gonna break your weed habit. Stop it. It ain't gonna work like that. If you always around the drunk guy, the guys that all want to go out and drink, kill themselves, you're gonna be around the drinking guy. You see that? You always around. If you got your like favorites, you know what I mean, pornthis.com, you know what I mean, bigbootydis.com, dirty.com. I'm just making up names. So if I start hitting on some of y'all favorite sites, remember, I'm just making them up. You know what I mean? Why? Because you're occupied. And then you got them in your favorites. So when your phone comes up, you know what I mean? All you see is what? It's like I had to, I just rebooted my phone, but I had to delete the Facebook app and put it in the back of my phone. Why? Because I don't want the first thing to do when I come up is to be Facebook with the little dot there that reminds me that somebody's trying to hit me up. I want to ignore all that. I don't want to hear you in Hebrew and you got these questions and then it turns into an argument. Nigga, come to class. So I put that to the back. Because you know who's important? You. You're important. The brothers and sisters online that ain't here to argue or fight, but that really want the word. Right? So I put that to the back. I'm not going to be occupied with that. I'm not going to be occupied with the scrolling. You know what I mean? It'd be like 30 minutes, bam. Hour, boom. 2 hours, bam. You know what I mean? Like, what men in here have 45-minute bathroom sessions? Raise your hand if you're a 45-minuter. Huh? You go in just to sit on the toilet.
I'm doing it though.
Right. Right, where your feet start numbing up? Okay. Well, what are you doing in that 45-minute span time? You're over there doing what? Instagram, Facebook, live, dirty this, dirty dirt bags here. You know what I mean? PI meets. I was like, yeah, rkelly.com. Why? Because you're occupied with negative. You know, and I like this question because this be the problem why brothers and sisters ain't studied up. Why? When you ask a question, you can't answer it. And if you do answer it, the first thing you answer is with the like, hey brother, how do you get this spirit off me? Go to Jeremiah 14:2. You're like, no, but I want the spirit off of me. Huh? Go to Deuteronomy 28. That's all you got in your arsenal. All you got in your arsenal is what you're going to answer from. So it's like these questions pop up. There's many ways to answer them, but are you going to answer them on point, or are you going to go to Revelation 13, 9, and 10. See, the white man's the devil. See, the reason why you got these spirits on you because the devil put them there. Like, and I could go that way, right? But is that going to help them? No. What's going to help them is really showing them how their problem persists around them, which is, we know, idleness, slothfulness, being occupied in evil. That's why they're on the porn. That's why they're on these sites. That's why they're doing this thing. That's why they're arguing with frivolous, pointless individuals online. Right? It says avoid foolish and vain babbling, but no, not you. You're going to get into every argument you can get in. Right? This is the problem. Read it again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 3.
Go ahead.
There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil.
Right. You see that? Y'all see that, right? You got you. What are you doing? So we're gonna jump. I'm gonna jump, but let me get one more of this. If y'all got anything, go to Ecclesiastes 28. No, 39 and 1.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39 and verse 1.
Ecclesiastes 39 and 1. Here you go. Ecclesiastes 39 and 1. Go ahead.
But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High,
right,
and is occupied in the meditation thereof.
See, there you go. Why you got so many demons on you? Because you ain't meditating. And I'm not, for the person, let me dial it back a little bit. For the person online, I'm not necessarily speaking to you. I'm speaking to all, because this is a problem not with just you that are asking the question. So let me make sure you understand that. You know, the point is for us to get understanding. But Israel, man, they got so many demons on them in their thought process because they don't be occupied in the spiritual things. They ain't occupied in studying. They ain't occupied in learning in the wisdom of the Most High. They're occupied in some frivolous thing out there in the world that is giving them this like robotic purpose. Like, look, I'm busy. I'm busy. You ain't busy doing jack. You ain't doing nothing. You're just lazy as hell. You're lazy, you're lazy-minded. That's what the scripture says. It said the ones that were given the talents, one of them buried them. Why? Because they probably thought, what? I'm busy. I'm going to be building. I'm going to just hold this here for the Most High, for Yahweh Shai. But you're not doing nothing. So how could you be better for the truth? How could you be better for the Most High? Well, you got to be occupied in the laws and commandments. You got to be occupied in a purpose. So you've been in the truth a year. What next? Where are you going now? You just going to be in here? Have you started working on the old man yet? That's the first and foremost. Because you come in the truth, and the first thing you're supposed to be doing is working on the old man and the old niggerism out of you. And as you stop battling, then you're supposed to have your next purpose. Because you know when you first come in, there's a battle. You know what I mean? You got that smoking demon on you, you don't want to let that go. You got the drinking demon on you, you don't want to let that go. You got all these spirits on you, you don't want to let them go. So when you stop battling, I'm saying this for everybody, you ain't did nothing until you stop battling. When you stop battling those demons and fighting and actually working on yourself, then now you can start moving forward. And you know what I mean about battling, meaning going against. Not battling for the spirit, meaning you're battling to go against what you're being shown. When you start battling for the spirit, then you start moving forward. Because then now you can work on yourself. Because you can't teach anybody unless you what? Right. You got to check yourself first, right? Then the next vision, it should be what? Now that I'm getting it and I'm learning and I'm growing, as I was freely given, freely received, I want to freely give. Then you can move to the next purpose. And then you're constantly moving to purpose. Where no vision is, the people perish. But if you're doing like church, come home, bring my notes, you know what I mean? You write down 75,000 scriptures, go home, be occupied on your phone. You lost the purpose. You lost the point. Go ahead, read that.
We'll seek out the wisdom of all the ancients.
Yeah, you're supposed to be seeking out the wisdom of the ancients. You want to get smart, you want to get wise, you're supposed to be doing what the scriptures say. We're out the doorsteps of the wise. Asking the questions, the 50,000 questions. You know what I mean? Getting things answered. Going through the Bible and just reading. Getting your historical database up to par. Just the basic understanding of the stories. David, Solomon, Samuel, Cain, Abel, all these stories, right? Abraham. Just getting the information. I can take your day, work, what's your job, and occupy your day to where you're constantly busy. You know what I mean? But you know what that means? No basketball games. No video games. No more just going out there and what? Popping a brewski and sitting out. So I can't relax. That is relaxing. Relaxing in the spirit, meditating on the Most High is relaxing. You just been taught relaxing is what? A beer and oblivious brain. No, relaxing is sitting back, listening to the audio Bible while adding notes in your Bible. That's relaxing. You know, or putting some symphony music on and just reading. That's relaxing. But you've been taught all the time, no, I ain't relaxing unless what? What did they say? What is it? A day off is what, Quazazah? Not doing anything, not breathing, not moving out the bed. Like, that's not, a day off ain't nothing. You just get to sit there. Whew, I got a full day off. Which ain't gonna happen in the truth. I'm taking shots at him over there. But, it's not that he said it. It's not that he said it. But, but that's the thing. That's how people think. Occupy yourself in the Word. Go ahead.
And be occupied in prophecy.
There you go. I like it when y'all hit me up online and brothers call me and sisters and brothers text me, hey, I was thinking about this. I want to be occupied in that because you give me purpose. But for the lazy niggas amongst us that just sit around, you don't write nothing down, you won't get up, you won't lift your finger up, You won't do nothing. Man, you're burying your talent. You're burying your purpose. There's supposed to be growth in what we're doing. You know what I mean? Not just sitting here and what? You eating the bread of the Most High. Oh, I'm fat. I'm good. And then go right outside and be a demon. That's not how it's supposed to work. This is not church. Like I said, this is a good question, so I'm going a little further. Go ahead.
He will keep the sayings of the renowned.
Yeah. You see that? Why is this person mind now locked in? Because he's constantly occupied in the word. It's like music. Come on, man. You put some Rihanna on all the time, right? You hear that Rihanna or rap music, some garbage little Uzi or Snoozy or little doo-doo, whatever, right? And you put it on and you what? It be 3 or 4 hours. You be like, yeah, pop that thing, whoop that trick, right?
That's that whoop that trick.
Yeah, that's that whoop that trick song, right? Same thing with the Bible. That's how you know when you get with a brother or sister, you can look and see where they be at. Because they be talking about it. Now, we know we got the ones that are hiding. They won't say nothing. Why? Because they don't want to be revealed. We know that. And it's a little more work with them. You got hey, how you doing, brother? Doing good. They ain't going to talk to you about nothing. They won't talk to you about the heavens, the earth. They won't talk to you about the angels. They won't talk to you about the bees. They won't talk to you about their day. They won't say nothing. They're the ones that, I don't want you to read me, so I'm going to duck and dodge you. Shalom, how you doing? They ain't the ones, oh man, the Most High, I was the other day, whoop-de-whoop, whoop-de-whoop, but and the Spirit was showing me, they ain't talking like that. They're like, it was good. You know what I mean? You're like, what the f is wrong with you? Why? Because they trying to hide. You don't supposed to be wanting to hide. You're supposed to be wanting to get these spirits off of you, man. So you got to be occupied in the Spirit, right? Now let me throw the other one. Give me the iron sharpening real quick. What's that? Proverbs. Hold where you're at though, because we're going back there. Now, what is the other way? What is another way to keep yourself occupied? Give me the Hebrews for sake of nothing. Go ahead and read that. Where you at?
Proverbs 27 and 17.
Right.
Proverbs chapter 27 and verse 17.
Go ahead.
Iron sharpening iron.
What?
Iron sharpening iron.
Read.
So a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend.
You want to? And listen. Whatever they told you, whatever you thought you believed and you switched from your belief, I know this. If I didn't have brothers there for me, to help me, to sharpen me, I would not be the man I am today. I had men, elders, brothers, good and bad examples there for me daily. And that is what sharpened my countenance to be strong. See, now, is the Bible a lie?
Lie.
Okay. So when it says iron sharpeneth iron, right?
Good.
And what? What else is said?
So a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend.
So how do you get sharp? What are you around? What are you around? So a lot of these times, we try to get y'all to come outside of your comfort zone and be around. Why? Because that's how you get your countenance sharpened. So you got to be around people that are about the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. You got to make it your job to be around people with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. That's what's going to get you to be sharpened. That's what's going to get you to get off the porn, get off the video games, beating your wife, all that. Somebody's going to constantly be there to be AI. That's wrong. That's not right? Go to the prophets. They were going to blow the horn. They were going to show my people their transgression. All those scriptures, right?
Good.
Wear out the footsteps of the wise, all that. What? Yeah.
That's why Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 11. Go there real quick.
Yeah, then we're going to jump back.
Go to Wisdom of Solomon
Yeah.
3 and verse 11. Because if the whole purpose is that iron sharpened iron, and we're supposed to be raising each other's countenance, and the only way to do it is to gather. And if a man or a woman don't want to do that, they don't see the value in that nurturing. They don't see the value in that building. So this is what tends to happen. Read that. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 3 and verse 11.
God, for whoso despises wisdom and nurture.
Because when you say, you know what, I don't want to be around, I don't want to be with nobody, you're basically telling yourself that you don't need to be nurtured. A baby, we're all babes when we first come into this knowledge.
God.
Babies need to be nurtured. They need to be grown the right way so that they're healthy and strong for life. But a lot of babes think that they're fully grown. So what do they do? Read it from the top.
For whoso despiseth wisdom and
Yeah, you
nurture.
despise. Somebody look up that word despise. You despise the wisdom. Think about a baby pushing away his mother's milk. What's going to happen? The baby's going to dry up. He's going to die of starvation. He won't grow to a full age. Who got despised? Read it one more time, Lamont.
For whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture.
Go ahead.
He is miserable.
Yeah, now you're in misery. Now you're miserable. You don't know what to do with yourself. Nothing makes you happy. Go ahead.
And their hope is vain.
Read.
Their
Yeah,
labor
the things that you hope for is vain. There's no profit in the things that you want. The things that you hope for and aspire to. Because you were never nurtured in a way to have a vision. Where there's no hope, where there's no vision, the people perish. When you have a vision, you have a hope for something in the future. But see, you were never taught about a vision because you weren't around to see what the vision was or what the vision is or how to have a vision or how to establish a vision. It's just a goal. That's all it is. A vision is a goal. But you despise nurture, so you never shown that goals were important to set so you can have something to achieve to. Go ahead.
Their labors
The
unfruitful.
works you put your hands to are unfruitful. Now you end up being the masturbator, the doctrine tossed to and froer, right? Your labors are unfruitful. Go ahead.
And their works unprofitable.
Yeah, and all your works are unprofitable. Think about it. Your labors bear no fruit. What fruit does masturbation bring? Except for the fruit of lust. More spirits that come and attack. Now you lustful. And then we know what happens with the porn fiends. You know, they go from the regular porn, next thing you know, you're into animal porn. Because the regular stuff doesn't suffice that appetite. That appetite grows. That appetite grows, and it grows into negative. It's no different. Let's reverse it to a brother that's doing the right thing, righteous spirit. What is he constantly trying to attain? Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiastes 39:1 that we just read. You're trying to attain into those parables. You studying more. You're putting your head more in the book. You're getting more wise. You're getting more scholarship put in you because of where you're placing your mind. So you got to understand that you don't want to put yourself in a position where if you can gather, if you can be around, to not despise nurture, not despise wisdom, because you're putting yourself in a place that is unprofitable for your spirit. What you got?
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 8.
And then we're going to go back to Ecclesiastes 39.
And I got your definition for despise. It means to scorn or to disdain or to have a lowest opinion of.
Yeah, like, oh, that's not necessary. I don't got to be around that. He that despised wisdom and nurture. Like, I don't need that. I got my own wisdom. I got my own nurture. You disdained it. You scorn it. You look down on it. Go ahead, what else? Fools despise wisdom and instruction. That's it. Scorn, disdain, to have a low. Yeah, you got a low opinion. I like the scripture you about to bring because you have a low opinion on the things that are being brought to you for your spiritual growth. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 8. Despise not the discourse of the wise.
So why are you really idle in the first place is because you despise the discourse of the wise. You don't really want to have or occupy yourself into what they have to tell you and how to get yourself right. Go ahead.
And according to the definition, you just tossed that to the side.
Yeah.
It wasn't even that. What did you say?
It said.
What did you say? You said something. The bottom line is you tossed the discourse of the wisdom to the side.
Or you don't even want to hear the matter in the first place.
Right. You basically put it in your head that it wasn't important for you to hear.
Right.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, read out.
Go ahead.
But acquaint thyself with their proverbs.
So when it says to acquaint thyself with their proverbs, what does that entail? That entails you stop doing what you're doing, stop being idle, and get yourself around. That means you have to acquaint yourself with what they're going to be talking about and how to better your spirit.
Like, and then we can, I'm sure there's a lot we could throw in there, but you don't have to get it, but we all know it. 2 Timothy 2 verse 15, study to show thyself approved. So, yeah, there's going to be times when you're alone and you got to battle it, but you got to be strong. You got to be strong, man. You know, like I always said, when I first went to Colorado, there was no brother that really wanted to come out there to Colorado with me. You know, I did it, but it was a battle. Why? Because the scriptures say, woe to him that is left alone. When he falls, who would be there to pick him up? So I still had to have communication with a brother over the phone to be able to communicate and say, hey, let me put this by you. I always said, that was 2002. In 2002, I had got the book of Enoch and Jasher and read both of them. But in 2003, I wasn't teaching that. In 2004, I wasn't teaching that. In 2005, all the way up to now, 2018, I wasn't teaching that. Why? Because I had sense enough to understand, first of all, the things that were written there were off. Two, I had a brother to come back and say, hey, nah, that's not right. Look, that. These guys, these days, they're not doing that. They're like, nope, that's in the book, that's in the book. Yeah, but there's so much more that's not matching up. Because they don't have that man, that brother there to sharpen their countenance. Or just to come back and say, hey, this is something you're not looking at, bro. Shalom. You know what I mean? It might just be that. But because you don't want the discourse of the brothers or elders or anybody, you're alone and you're in that lonely mind. Iron sharpeneth iron. Right? Go ahead, finish it.
I'm going to just read this real quick on the response. He said, it's true. I am idle. I'm wrestling with my thoughts. And I have known the truth for 4 years now. And now I'm 20 years old. But I never learned how to apply the word. I just knew the word. I was never with the camp.
Right. And you know what? You're probably one in a million brothers that have the humility to say, hey, you know what? I'm having this battle. You know, it's because of these reasons. But you know how many, and we applaud you for that. But I'm going to say it again. I'm just like you. I realized at a young age that I needed brothers. This generation don't understand that the Most High blesses the unity. He says how good and how pleasant it is for brothers to dwell together in unity. Why? Because I got another brother there with me to check me, to tell me, to show me. You know, and then too, I had brothers there to raise me. You know, riding that bike, right? You was riding that bike and your mama pushed you off and you up, pow! And the brother come over and be like, okay, come on, let me show you how to do it. And then when you start riding alone, he was like, all right, you got it there. You see what I'm saying? You started riding it. And then as I started riding, a man didn't have to remind me what the Bible said. I came with that bike rack back around and say, is there something wrong with my tire? There's something wrong with this, there's something wrong with that. Because you will start riding alone at a certain time. But still, a wise man knows what? Through a multitude of counsel, their safety. Do nothing without advice. He says, when you go sit down and make war, you do it through counsel. Right? So you will still come back and know, damn, he that think himself to be something when he is nothing, he fools himself. So what is it with man? What is it with us? We think we're something. I know that about myself. It's like you were saying earlier, when you know something about yourself, human nature wants you to be Mr. Big Balls. You know what I mean? You know everything. You got all the wisdom. You're the home of the truth. And nobody can tell you this. Nobody can tell you that, right? But because you don't know that about yourself and you don't examine yourself, you get caught up into that prideful mind and you sit back and you are doing stuff like that. You know, you got many brothers doing stuff like that. But they got a million scriptures and they don't understand it's about the change. I got a lot of scriptures, but it's about the change. I'll say it again. I got the truth when I was 15. I had a lot of scriptures when I was 20. You know what I mean? But what did it take for me? What did I have to do? I had to work on myself to be a teacher. And still I failed.
But no, it's like he was saying. He said, I've known the truth for 4 years. He said, I got a lot of scriptures. I don't know how to apply.
There you go.
Where does the application come in? Proverbs 27-17. Iron sharpeneth iron.
Yeah.
It's the only way. How else are you going to apply the Bible? You going to, beat your rib to death with scriptures? Like, how else is it?
Yeah.
But no, think about it. That's what brothers think. Like, well, I have my family.
Yeah.
I have my wife. I have my kids, so I apply with them. But there was some essential things that you needed before you could even apply with them. That comes from the brotherhood.
It's like a black belt working out with a white belt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not going to work like that. You're going to go over there, just a little knowledge you got, you're going to go over there and beat them down.
Yeah.
You need to have a man like you.
To work, to show you temperance and
there you go.
And delivery. And
that's why we have peers.
Yeah.
Because we bounce back stuff on each other and I'll throw it at you and you be like, yeah, but you didn't check this. And you know what, you're right. Then I'll come back and say, then we're building. That's how you build. That's why when Yahweh Shai told Peter what? This is gonna happen to me. I'm gonna go be put to death. Peter was like, la. He was like, that's not gonna happen. Christ came back and was like, wait, la.
Right.
You're not gonna tell me what's not gonna happen. Fall in line. This is what's gonna happen. Peter still in his head thought, what? Nope. When that day come, watch. I'm going to cut off the ear, right? And he did, right? Christ had to still come back and remind him, see, have I been so long with you, thou hast not known me? Right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is what was happening amongst the apostles. And I was just telling my rib today about Judas. I was like, because people think there's not going to be sick people amongst us. Like, Judas was a demon the whole time. What are you talking about?
Have I not chosen you 12 and one of you?
One of you, that's the same scripture I hear one. I'm like, the devil was amongst them when the devil was not welcome, right? Yeah. You know, so you got to see that what we think is things that's going to keep us strong, you got to go back to literal Bible verses to see, wait a minute, how did the apostles do it? How did Christ do it? When the apostles left, we just read over earlier, if y'all caught class earlier, you asked a question in Philemon, right? And Philemon, Paul was talking about Philemon, Tertius. He was talking about all these, listen to these brothers that were working together. Why? Because that's how you build, number one. I mean, that should be common sense. But that's what was needed. And guess what? When Paul needed to be checked, he had Peter. When Peter needed to be checked, Paul would go on and say what he had to say to Peter. There was always somebody there to keep helping each other as a body, as a nation. You know, we get caught up in this mind, Deuteronomy 28. His eye shall be evil towards his brother. I don't need a man. I can do it all alone. No. It don't work like that.
No, brothers is past that.
Brothers is on Proverbs 18:1.
But wait, can we go back? No, finish that up, Ak. Finish that up.
Second precept?
Yeah.
For them.
No, but acquaint thyself.
Good. But acquaint thyself with their proverbs.
So the only way you're gonna fall out of your stump and your stupor is because you have the knowledge of the Most High and of the Scriptures. But that has to be what you want to talk about. That's what you have to want to hear. You have to be around that, and you have to make that of your speech pattern. Not just with your wife and your kids, but of the people who are going to check you as well.
Yeah.
That way, when you hear a wise saying, a wise person adds on to it.
There you go. Yeah.
That's part of wisdom is correction.
That's part of that's part of the building.
That's part of but the problem is
right.
The keyboard warriors, the Facebook generation.
Right.
You know what's funny, man? We went to play ball yesterday, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't played ball in like 4 years. And just seeing how basketball is played, I'm like, wow, the new generation of the way things is done, it's about quick and easy.
Yeah.
There's no real, let me put my mind into this and really get the inner workings of things. Let me put myself in position to be beat up a little bit. Everybody's Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Dribble, 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 shoot.
Yeah.
There ain't no down low getting banged up with elbows. Let me grab the boards.
Nah.
Ain't none of that.
If you're old school,
If you're old, you do that and you get beat up.
But the new generation, nah.
But it goes holds.
It goes with the time.
It goes true for a lot of things where I got a gang of scriptures, so now I'm this. I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
I'm a prophet. I'm a deacon. I'm whatever it is. But did you go through? It's like Paul said. He said that he was his son in bonds, right?
Yeah.
Philemon,
right?
What bonds? It was about going through things. It was about that iron sharpening iron. It was about going through the trials and tribulations for us to build in that. Those were the bonds. But how are we going through bonds now? Can we argue online?
Right.
Because we argue about doctrine online, that's going through it, that's building?
Nah.
That ain't real building. It was about this.
Could I say this? I want to clear this up. We're not bringing this out and adding. We're not adding this because we want to hang out with you. We're adding these things because you got so many people that got so many problems, and they can get their problem fixed, but they won't listen to the commandments.
Despise not
when I say the commandments, we're reading the method on how to do it, right?
Right.
But how many brothers gonna close the book and be what? Be idle. Be idle, be to themselves, be to their own mind, instead of doing what the law says. Instead of doing what the scriptures say. So that's why we're going over it. Because you be like, damn, bro, I be saying in my head, this guy can fix this if he just committed to the word. It'd be like the problem still persists 3, 4, 5, 6 years later. You got the same demons on you had when you came in the truth. Why? Because you want to do it your way. So don't get us wrong. This is not a ploy. Because the speaking foolishly, the selfish guys in me is like, listen, it's better not to have to deal with your problems. But the spiritual man knows that you need help. You're going to get the help if you follow the commandments. And that be the problem with a lot of brothers and sisters around us. You know, it's not to get you to come around me. Trust me. It's easier the other way. But when you do come around, look at your spirit. It's like you come around, you can see in his eyes, you can see in her eyes, her spirit diminishing because you think it's about church instead of really committing yourself to the Most High. Go back to Ecclesiastes 39 because we're finna run out of time.
And you know what? I'm going to say one thing too.
Yeah.
Brothers discredit themselves so much with the I'm going to be by myself thing because they don't understand that when they're built to a certain level, what they can add. They don't look at that. They look at themselves and only what they're going through. But you never, brothers, sisters, same thing, got to look at how can I be a benefit to the next man after a while? When certain things are built and established in me, how do I now keep the ball rolling and give it to the next person?
Right.
But you discredit yourself and you take yourself out of real like you got brothers, I'm a teacher, I'm this, I'm that, I got the spirit, whatever. But you take yourself out of really having the spirit when you don't want to be around getting the spirit to give the spirit. You take yourself out of being a real teacher when you don't want to be taught to actually learn how to teach.
Yeah.
You discredit yourself fully, in my book, because you don't want to give yourself to the thing where you can give back.
Yeah,
Very
so listen, what state you in? Answer that. Read on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39 In verse 2, second precept.
Go ahead.
And where subtle parables are,
Uh-huh.
he will be there also.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to be. Once again, where subtle parables are, avoid them.
He will be there.
You will what?
Be there.
Right. No. Make sure you hide out because those subtle parables are going to cut my spirit.
Be there.
He said, be there. Right? Don't let them, I don't want them to see that I do got a jack-off demon on me. I do got a porn demon on me. I do got pride in me. He said, be there. That's going to help you. That's what this is about, man. It's not about ducking and dodging. It's about you understanding what's needed for your soul, for your spirit. And it takes work. It takes you putting off the old man and putting on the new. Go ahead.
Verse 3.
Uh-huh.
He will seek out the secrets of grave sentences.
Go ahead.
And be conversant in dark parables.
Be conversing with who? Me, myself, and I? What the hell? You're like, you conversing with who?
Me and the Spirit.
Yeah, it's like, if you got voices talking to you, that's a problem. Go ahead.
He shall serve.
He shall what?
Serve.
So you learn all this to do what?
Serve.
Read.
Among great men.
Read.
And appear before princes.
Yeah, that's what this is about. Remember we went over Joseph? Same thing, man. What brought Joseph down, high, low? But what kept him right? His integrity and spirit in the Most High. Right? Go ahead.
He will travel through strange countries.
Read.
For he had tried the good and the evil among men.
Go ahead.
He will give his heart to resort early to the Most High that made him.
Read.
And will pray before the Most High.
Right.
And will open his mouth in prayer and make supplication for his sin.
Go ahead, read on.
When the great Lord will, he shall be filled with the Spirit.
See? How was he filled with the Spirit? He had to be conversant. He had to be conversant and occupied in the wisdom of the Most High. That's how you get it. You don't just lay the book on your head and the Holy Spirit comes into you. It don't work like that. You got to read it. You got to talk about it. You got to be about it.
You have to be under tutors and governors.
You got to be under tutors and governors.
It's time appointed, like it says, at the Most High will.
I mean, it said it. You serve great men at ease.
So you have to be under tutors and governors. Yeah.
Go ahead. Come on.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39 verse 6.
Uh-huh.
Second precept. He shall be filled with the spirit of understanding.
Right.
He shall pour out wise sentences.
Why? Because he's around people that is like-minded. What's going to happen in the kingdom of heaven? We're going to be around like-minded people. The 2/3 ain't going to make it because they're like the world. The 1/3 is going to make it into Israel. Read.
And give thanks unto the Most High in his prayer.
Read.
He shall direct his counsel.
He shall do what?
Direct his counsel.
That means your advice will get better. Because you're speaking the grave sentences. You're bouncing scriptures around. A brother's adding a scripture to where you didn't add. Where you didn't have. Go ahead.
And knowledge.
Read.
And in his secrets shall he meditate.
Yeah, this is what you got to be around. You got to be around the wisdom, the knowledge. You got to be occupied in the work, in the word. Go ahead.
He shall show forth that which he had learned.
That which he had what?
Had learned.
You see this? You'll be able to show forth what you learned. Because you are, huh?
You got to be around to learn.
You got to be around to learn. It says when you ought to be teachers, you had need someone teach you. You had need someone teach you the first principles of the doctrine.
But that's why you see the ones that have learned and how they've learned.
Right.
And read it one more time. Watch.
Yeah.
Read it one more time.
Ecclesiastes chapter 39 verse 8.
Uh-huh.
He shall show forth.
Yeah, this man is going to show that. You see when a man shows forth how? He shows forth through his actions. He shows forth through his fruit, how he's learned and what he's learned. The method. You know a cat that's learned, and it's not a bash on anybody that's learning online. We understand that everybody can't be around the school. But You can tell when a man hasn't been tempered in certain things. You can tell when a man's long-suffering and faith and charity and balance hasn't been tempered because he didn't have somebody around to sharpen him up. So you can see it on either side. Obviously, this is talking about the good things that the Most High has shown him through the proper method. But you can see the opposite side where a man the things that he's learned hasn't been tempered. He doesn't have proper temperament in the fruits of the Spirit. Go ahead.
That which he had learned,
And
shall glory in the law of the covenant of the Most High.
Yeah. So, yeah, that let me one more on this. No, we're past that. Go to. I wanted you to do one more too. Go to Ecclesiastes 21. Just on this, still on this question about the things you're battling, brother. Read that. Ecclesiastes 21.
Verse 1.
Verse 1. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 21, verse 1.
Go ahead.
My son, hast thou sinned?
Read.
Do so no more.
Do what?
Do so no more.
Read. But he's going to tell you how. He's just not going to leave it like that. If you sin, stop it. Right? Go ahead.
But as pardon for thy former sins.
So you got to pray to the Most High and ask him to help you and strengthen you to stop. But then you have to create an environment around you. You have to be around and occupy yourself in the work and the word. Go ahead.
Flee from sin.
But you have to do what?
Flee from sin.
No. Keep it right on your phone.
Flee from sin.
Keep the porn right on the internet.
Flee from sin.
Keep being around people that got demons on them.
Flee from sin.
You gotta flee. You gotta run from the niggerism, man. You gotta set up things. We had one time a brother was coming. And he would come every Sabbath, and he would say, "I can't stop smoking." And we would tell him, "Bro, the way you gotta stop smoking is you gotta be around." Yeah, we told him other things outside. He was in town. We told him, "Listen, first of all, don't go buy it. Don't go bum a cigarette. Don't do this. Don't do that. Don't do that." We gave him options, right? He was like, "I still can't stop." Well, then you got to come around. We had brothers come in from back in the days with sacks of weed, right? Cigar weed down there. In the middle of class, we was like, "All right, you smell like weed. What you got on you?" "Well, I got something in the car. Bring it in." We took it. We was like, "You gonna flush that in the toilet?"
Stomp the weed out.
Why? You know why? Because that's the only way. But here's the thing. Here's what you got to get out of all that. He didn't have to go get it in his car. He didn't have to bring it in. He didn't have to wash it down the toilet. That was all his free will. But what he did get was us on him to say, you're going to fight this way, Ak. This is how you show the Most High. And through that, through obeying what man was telling him, not light it up and we all get high, obeying that, he stops. Right? Now, yeah, eventually those demons jump back on him because why? Where that wicked mind is, it says it would do you mischief. And it would go try to run and hide. But my point is this, a lot of times these demons can get off of you if you're around brothers. Another brother, he had pill demons on him. All we had was like, okay, we're going to be with you, because this demon's on you so strong. We're going to check everything on you. These are ways that you have, brother. And these are the extent and the strong things we had to do with certain individuals. But they got that help. When you got a problem, a drinking problem in the world, what do they got out there for the white man? They got AA meetings, no, but they also got what?
Sponsors.
They got sponsors, and what else do they got?
Rehab.
They got rehab. Like when Lindsay Lohan and Britney Spears had problems, what did they go do?
Rehab.
They checked themselves in what?
Rehab.
And they got to sit there. And nobody's sliding dope, crack, pills through there. Everybody's trying to get rehab. A lot of times you got to step into the rehab place and give yourself to it to pull away from those demons. So there is drastic measures and there's levels. Everybody might not be like that. The brother online, you might say, okay, I'm gonna do and take the advice. I'm gonna start occupying myself. I'm gonna take off the apps. I'm gonna make sure I delete the stuff off my computer. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna turn off the computer, put that to the way. I'm gonna occupy myself, and that might be good for you. That might start strengthening you to the next level. Sometimes it's brothers, sisters, it might have to go in a different way. You might need a brother there to be like, nah, that's off. That's wrong. Why are you doing that? You see? So take the steps, but you got to flee from that negative. You got to run from it like if it was a serpent. Go ahead.
God, flee from sin as from the face of a serpent.
Go ahead.
For if thou comest too near it, it will bite thee.
Yeah, it will bite you. So you got to learn how to make provision to keep away from it. Go ahead.
The teeth thereof are as the teeth of a lion.
Yeah, because listen, you might not be looking at porn, but then you got Instagram and you got all the thoughts on there. And that might get you to, it might not be porn, but it's what? Soft porn. Right? So you might have to click off that. You might have to delete that app. Right? Then you got Facebook. Or everybody trying to hit you up and trying to show you naked pictures through Facebook. You might have to delete that.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
It's even YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube.
It's all linked to Google. So when you, no. It's all linked to Google. So when you do certain things in Google, your YouTube suggestions, they suggest off your Google history.
Right.
So you may have, you got a lot of people that do study online. They use their computer or whatever. You might have to get back in that book and get off a line as far as all the excessive study.
Right.
And just go into the book and deal with that.
Exactly.
Because, listen, it's as simple as this.
Yeah.
You'll be like, damn, the scripture says this. You hop on your Bible app real quick to grab the scripture, and then all of a sudden, a thought hits you, and you're like, wait a minute. And then you end up running through like 4 social media apps.
Right.
And you're like, well,
it's
damn,
like 40 minutes later.
It's like 40 minutes later, and it's like, damn, I'm supposed to be studying.
You gotta have spiritual and mental control. Dude, I say it every day. None of us is, I don't have the porn problem, but dude, just like I'll go to the news because I like looking at the news and see what's going on, and I'll hit Google and I notice. Wait a minute, it's been 10 minutes. I'll snap. Yeah. You gotta have power and control, and I'll snap and I'll flip over right to my Word app, my Bible app. Keep putting my class together. Add to other classes. You know what I mean? I'll throw the audio Bible. You got to be conscious of what you're doing. You got to be conscious of what you're entertaining yourself with and how these things got a control of you. The scriptures say, examine yourself whether you be in the faith. So a lot of times, the scriptures say, if you correct yourself, if you judge yourself, you're judging no man. A lot of these instances is because, we're talking about is because brothers don't check themselves. But if you are mature enough, and you can examine yourself and say, you know what? I am like that. I do got these demons on me. Now let me find the method. And then apply the method. A lot of these things you can start taking control of. Without a person there telling you, hey, this is your problem. But that might be just one thing. So you conquer the porn demon, and then now next thing you know it might be what? Pride, or jealousy, or envy. So you need your brothers, you need your sisters, you need a purpose in life. And our purpose is, man, to serve the Most High, follow the commandments, build our nation. So that's it on that. It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. Anything else?
Oh yeah. On that or
They got other questions?
Yeah, but the scriptures they put did not make sense.
Is it something quick or we can answer tomorrow morning?
Definitely not. Let's talk about the law, like Paul going against the law. But the scriptures they put in there don't go with
Paul,
what we're talking about.
I would love to talk about Paul. Y'all know how I like Paul. I love to get into the law, but we're gonna do it tomorrow morning because we answer questions in the Shabbat morning also. So y'all see, we took the whole day to answer questions. We didn't even go over our class. So you got to bear with us tomorrow. We'll go ahead and go over those questions too. Just log in. We're going to do the reading, and then we'll do questions. So, yeah, because we'll be here all night. We get up in the morning. We're going to be here in the morning. So, fret not. Okay? Fret not. We will be here. Anybody, was there something quick? Something like real quick we can just run through?
No, I think that was the last one.
That was the last one? Okay. Well, brother, if your brother or sister, whoever is asking that question, we will be here tomorrow morning, so just come with it again. All right? We're going to thank y'all once again, you brothers and sisters that have it. All the new cast, man. You got the brother Robert. Let me see here. I text you. The brother David. David, we appreciate you. We appreciate whoever has been given to the camp. You know, whatever alms or offerings or whatever you've given. If you've given Bibles, apocryphers, we appreciate that. We need that. And other than that, let's salute them and say shalom, y'all. Shalom. We'll see y'all in the morning.
Jesus is real, but you devils taught lies on Christ. So many lies that when we come with the truth, people think that the lies is the truth and that the truth is the lie. Who changed the truth for God into a lie? In English, Jesus Christ. In Hebrew, it's Yahweh Shai. So do or die. The immaculate conception is deception, along with the myth of giving gifts on December 25th. Christmas is Satan's clause, the birth of Nimrod, and not the son of God. To you was kind of odd. On the Passover, Christ was born in the spring. So now we bring the truth about the King of Kings. That's Black Jesus and not Caesar Borgias. And the facts can't be changed. It's all about the Most High. It's all about the